Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah, before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You're laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam. Thank you so much. I can see you. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. This by the end of the year. How are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son, ask your daughter how to. Just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.
Uncle, right? I have the right to address you the way I like. You don't know what she already did to me. So learn to control your emotion, right? That is the only thing I'm going to tell you. But if you don't want to control your emotion and you insult me here, I'm going to insult you 100%. Okay. You understand? You cannot insult me on a normal ground. Fiscally, you can't insult me, right? I will treat you like a child. If you insult me physically, I will handle you like a child. I don't care your age. You understand? You are powerful over the camera, so you can say whatever you want to say, but you can't yet say it to me physically. You understand? I will handle you like a kid. Can we arrange the meeting ground? Can we arrange the meeting ground? So learn to control your emotion. You understand?
Please don't take him out. I also have a right to respond because you mentioned my name. There's no need to take him out. All you have to do is to meet them or something. And you're taking too long to admonish them. Comment. What did you say? Comment. I know, but he mentioned my name, so I'm asking to respond to him. When he gets your time, No. He mentioned my name. If you want to make it rowdy, I will take you out. Take me out, you son of a bitch. Take me out. You think you're a big boy because you're moderating.
Take him out, please.
Hello, come on, don't use such word now.
$1,911,844,833 naira and 46. I'll take that again. 1,911,844,000,000. This money is too much for me.
Ebem jelu ekweje gwanu mi femgeme Omo abatano gwanu mi femgeme Ejimgubwa ekwe mbadike ekwe mbadike ekwe anokwa mbeme ijelobia iwe bụ akpa ego ebia iwe dokwasị m n'ukwu iwe na yom weju iwe na-ebe akwa ị na-ebe akwa onye na-eti gị ekwe mgbadike ekwe onye ibe m na-ewe iwe nya biko wee gbuo ya ọsụkọsụ nwamkpi nya biko sugbuo ya onye ife m na-ewe iwe nya biko wee gbuo ya Osukosu wampinya because uboya silence.
Hello, good people. It's good to be here this wonderful day that the Lord has made. I hope the day is good. It's treating you well wherever you are watching us from. If you are in the States, we say good afternoon. We say good morning to some parts. If you are in London, England, we say good evening. And if you are somewhere in Europe, we also say good evening and good afternoon, or good evening or good night, or good morning, as the case may be. And of course, if you are in the blessed country of Nigeria, we say good evening. I hope that the day is good where you are, and indeed it's a good day for you and your loved ones. Today we come on a not very happy mood. As you can see, I'm not in my regular. But we will discuss and see how we can all be able to chew and understand where we are, why the purpose of this meeting is, and then find a way to go forward. We are particularly going to be dedicating this broadcast to what is going on right now around the globe. I think it's become a news that every channel is carrying on the happenings in Finland. And I have an ample videos here, and of course with the help of those of you also will be coming on to the stream to give us their understanding of what this judgment may be, or what it looks like to you. And so today it's going to be good. I promise you, we are going to understand is what we are seeing right now, is it another conspiracy, or does it look like it's something like a conspiracy of the international community, or is it that the judgment that has been handed down is really what it's supposed to be? And of course, what is the way forward for Mazi Simon Ekpa? But one of the things I want to say is that some people are lumping it together. They are using it to draw an analogy between Simon Ekpa and the IPOB. I think Simon Ekpa and the IPOB are different entities, and we're going to discuss and try to draw a line there. And also, I watched several media this morning since the news broke, and I see that certain people are trying to make whatever is going wrong in the Southeast as that which is being led by Simon Ekpa. I totally and absolutely refuse to agree with that. And if you want to find fault in what I'm saying, you could go to the book published, or even to the publications of Chidodin Kanu, who is a professor of law, and he did an extensive research in those areas. He did them not by sitting in his office. He actually went to those places and collected data. I think his data can be trusted, and so you can use it as a reference point. Also, if you still have doubt of what is going on in the Southeast, and you think that this individual is the person who is manipulating everything there, I also want to go listen to Asare Dakobo. I'm not going to play his video today because we want to dwell on what we are discussing. But if you go and listen to his broadcast, you find out that he said, myself and the Nigerian army are fighting alongside in Imo State, and that is not a small statement. I didn't say so that tomorrow somebody said the videos are out there. I'm not manufacturing what I'm saying. The videos that he spoke are out there on how his boys are operating in the East, and the word he used is woto. So if you've been following this development like I have been, then you will find out that there are many actors in the Southeast. Some are politicians, some are militias, some are aggrieved members of terrorist organizations that have gone to the Southeast to make sure that it's not a place that people can dwell peacefully as it has always been. And those of us who are Igbos, we know that it is not anything. The Igbo culture does not allow you to spill blood. One of the things that why you need to appease the land is when you shed blood. The blood of the innocent is the blood of people are well respected in Igbo land. That's why no matter what the grievance is against an individual. The moment you do something that bring about harming that individual, the people of that city or that land will totally refuse to accept you, even if you are right, because it is against the land. The land does not accept bloodshed. Having said that much, let's now kickstart this discussion. I'm going to invite people very early, and then I also have one or two videos to play. And for those people who are rejoicing that Simon Ekpa is going to prison, I'm going to play also a video for you of how the prison look like, just in case his other moves don't work. It's going to be a time for him to probably come out of prison and have a PhD, because it gives you enough time to study and organize your life and make the best when you come out of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to this broadcast. I hope that all our people who support or do not support will be out there. Meanwhile, I want to say today that today is a public holiday in America, and those of us or those workers in America want to thank you for all your good work. We want to thank you no matter what your job is, whether you are the high networking individual, or you are the middle class networking individual, or you are the bottom of the actual working class individual. We want to say your working, your productivity, your hard work and dedication has kept America at the top of the most desired nation on earth. So you are doing a lot. I want to say thank you for very much. The teachers, the lecturers, the professors, you are all doing a wonderful job. The students that go to school every day, you are doing marvelously. The people who stroll the streets, the police officers, the immigration officer, whoever, whatever, where you are, the armed forces, the Marines as they are called, and all of you, the prison warders, and every single one of you are helping to make America great again. And I say to you, thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for all you do. Those of you who are in the health department, who are in charge and helping those elderly people who no longer can take care of themselves, and you have to help them to eat, to bathe, to do all kinds of stuff. We say thank you so much. What you are doing will not go unnoticed. Where man failed to see you, God is seeing your good work, and the angels are clapping for you. Well done, well done, well done. Having said that, let us dive into this real quickly, and we'll get people to come in almost immediately.
Wetin bring me call this class na Simon Ekpa. They say they don jail am for 6 years for Finland. He go spend 6 years for Finland. For this class, I go tell you everything. The news dey authentic. I went to different sites, read different stories about the arrest, the trial, everything. Now I wan tell you for this class. In case you dey doubt, make I show you. Before you go say I carry fake news, go to Google, put Simon Ekpa, go see say Vanguard, Premium Times Nigeria, BBC, Punch, This Day, The Nation, The Cable, Daily Post, The Guardian, Channels, Wiley. This is a European news outlet. I went there too. Star Reporter, many others. Even Finnish website, I went there for this story where I want to knock you for this class. So if you are ready, sit down. Let's go into.
All right, he is quite certain, he's quite true on what he's saying. And the question is, the recent sentencing of Simon Ekpa to 6 years in prison by a Finnish court has sent shock waves across the globe, across separatist movements in around the world, and indeed in the Southeast and Nigeria. Okay, and so many people are asking the question, how be it that this came to this point? What are the evidences that were presented that brought this verdict to bear? Okay, and then of course They are also accusing, the court is accusing Simon of not only aiding and abetting, but also running an armed faction of the group, of his autopilot group. I want to again say that it is not IPOB, it is the autopilot. Remember that many years ago, Simon Ekpa decided to distinguish himself, or rather remove himself, or remove his organization from the IPOB group. So his own group is called the autopilot. That's what he heads, and for which he is a self-styled Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic in exile. And people who have followed his broadcast know that he does not refer to himself as an IPOB member. Just in case, because I see Nigerian media, they are running wild, and those who have been looking for an opportunity to have a fling or a swing at the IPOB movement are using this as yardstick to draw, and so it has nothing to do with IPOB, please. They also accuse him of inciting and violence through the social media, and committing tax fraud. He's also accused of tax fraud, for which they say aggravated. Okay, he's also accused of being, I think I need water. Sorry, of tax fraud in the system. They also said that he's parading himself as a lawyer, whereas he's not a lawyer. It is his wife. It's his wife that's a lawyer, and so he is not really a lawyer as we all used to believe. And so that offenses that I've just read out to you made him to be classified or to be sentenced in the order in which he was sentenced. 6 years in prison, in the Finnish prison. Okay. How might this sentencing affect the separatist movement, our activities in Nigeria? We'll discuss that as this goes on. But let's look at Dan Azza. Dan Azza is one guy that I like his presentation, and sometimes I like to use him because he gives you an understanding. He gives you a total package of what he's talking about. And if you have not followed him yet, please go follow him. He's one of the guys in the Nigerian space that you can trust what news that's coming out of his channel. Let's listen more to what he's saying.
About the arrest, the trial, everything. Now I want to tell you for this class. In case they doubt, they can show you. Before you go say I carry fake news, go to Google, put Simon Ekpa, go say the news there everywhere. Vanguard, Premium Times Nigeria, BBC, Punch, This Day, The Nation, The Cable, Daily Post, The Guardian, Channels, Wiley. This is a European news outlet. I went there too. Star Reporter, many others. Even Finnish website, I went there for this story where I want to knock you for this class. So if you are ready, sit down. Let's go into this news. The story of Simon Ekpa, the beginning. It was in 1985 in Southeast. A boy was born in Ebonyi State, Nigeria. His name, Simon Ekpa. He was a very fast young man, strong and talented. To the extent that in 2003, he represented Nigeria in athletics, in triple jump, long jump, and 100 meter. He even won a silver medal for Nigeria. But then, a knee injury ended his dream of going forward, and his career was over. The move. He left Nigeria, landed in Finland in 2007, and became their citizen. He started a family, joined politics, even won a seat in Lati Municipal Council. His life looked promising. His future looked respectable. But something else was brewing inside him. Okay? The shift. He founded a new cause, a new path, and followed it. What path? Biafra separatism. Became a disciple of Nnamdi Kanu. Spoke on Radio Biafra after Kanu's arrest in 2021. Everything what they see for here, so they are coming from the combination of all the news outlets I just show you, plus the one in Finland. Okay? Spoke on Radio Biafra after Kanu's arrest in 2021. But soon, he broke away and formed his own fashion called Autopilot. The arrest. In December 2024, Finland authorities struck. The police arrested him. He was accused of terrorism, incitement, and tax fraud. 4 other suspects were arrested with him. Their charges were dropped. I'm talking about the 4 suspects. What about the case of someone else?
Yes, so I also want to say something about that. You see, initially, the Swedish authority arrested 5 persons, that is, plus Simon Ekpa. The other 4 people were charged. And I have followed this as a journalist. You just follow these things. And Simon Ekpa is not somebody that I follow like I did Nnamdi Kanu, but I followed some of his, when they took him to court, I followed all the proceedings that was coming from the court. So the first thing that the court did was to find out how involved are the other 4 persons, because the government was accusing them of having financed the ongoing in the southeast, but they could not find any reasonable documents or connection between him and the rest of the what has been accused of, and so they were quite easily freed. In other words, they were not kept one day. As soon as the court said, "This, you guys, you don't have any case to answer," their own situation, their own case was done. And that's what we have been saying about the ongoing in Nigeria. It doesn't matter whether it is Nnamdi Kanu or not. There are many other IPOB members around in Nigeria, languishing in many other prisons. And apart from IPOB members who can speak for some of them, the other people that are innocent, who do not have anybody to speak on their behalf, are all languishing also in different prisons in Nigeria. What is the reason for holding people in prison when you are not going to try them for years, even for the crime that they would have ordinarily served and left the prison? They are left in the prison, and some of them become radicalized or become something else in the prison. This is something that our government should. Now, the whole of this trial of Simon Ekpa didn't take more than a year. Everything was investigated, everything was concluded, and sentencing has come down. So we were also going to look at all that. So no matter what you think this individual have done, if you cannot be able to bring a charge that can be sustainable in court, why not leave him? It's better for one innocent man to be freed, okay, than to I can't frame it right now because I think I'm a bit not distraught, as that's the right word. But the truth is, we cannot continually to demonize our citizens and expect that other people will respect us, or we expect that other people will respect our people when they are on that side, on the other side of the law in their countries. We must show example of how we love our citizens, so that other people can also do the same thing for our citizens. Let's go on this this discussion.
His own was too strong to drop. Wetin make them not drop his own case? They thought say, according to the prosecutors, from 2021 to 2024, EKPA called for sit-at-home protest in Nigeria. He urged followers on X, Twitter, to implement it. He pushed separatist propaganda. The court said, that is the Finnish court, the court said he helped form armed groups, supply weapons, explosive, and armor. Use his influence to incite terrorism abroad, according to Finnish court. The trial, May to June 2025, May-June 2025, within 2 months, the court had 12 sessions. 3 judges tried him, all of them with one voice. They found him guilty. EKPA denied everything when they talk against him, but the evidence overwhelming when they showed them. Okay? The verdict. 1st of September 2025, today, the court delivered judgment.
Okay, other thing you must also know is this. There have been several freedom fighters in Africa who have used Nigeria as base in the time of the struggle of their nation. So what we are saying here is that we could have simply taken those people to court and declared that they are also what? Terrorists. Because somewhere, Mbeki, what's his first name now? The former president of Southern Africa, who lived many years in Nigeria, and many of those freedom fighters from, Southern Africa, from Zanzibar, from all those, all those places in Southern Africa and in East Africa, that were using Nigeria as base for the struggle of their country, should equally be taken to prison. So because some people come up with the idea that because Simon Ekpa was struggling for the freedom of his people means that he's criminalized. You could say the method, which is what the court said, is not approved, but not because what he's doing is illegal. If it was illegal, then the United Nations wouldn't have said that it is the right of everybody, every nation and everybody to determine where you want to be, whether you want to belong to a nation or not. There are people on earth today who say they are citizens of the world. They don't belong to any nation. They are called, I've forgotten the right word, right? Not coming to my head now. But you see, they carry that passport. They don't belong to any nation. They belong to themselves, to whoever they decide. They say they are world citizens or something like that. And if you go to, if you're somebody who travel wide, you find out that you get to certain airports and you see a designation for such people. They pass through there. They already know, that these people exist. So, but for me, if you ask me, and I will keep saying it, I do not approve some of his utterances, but I can't do what Simon Ekpa was doing. Was he doing it well? Well, time will tell, because some people are already celebrating. Those who do not like the freedom of the Ndibo are already celebrating. But remember, the Swedish court, it doesn't end in the first court of first instance. There are still appeal courts, and there will definitely be Supreme Court. It depends on how much Simon Ekpa wants to fight it. So let's not begin to jubilate and say, hey, this guy is gone. Okay? All right.
What did they talk? They talk say he will spend 6 years in prison in Finland. For what? For terrorism, incitement, tax fraud, and fake law practice. Make I tell you about this one. The twist. He had a law firm called EKPA Ako Owa. He claimed say he dey help immigrants. Claimed to be a lawyer. It was a claim that he is a lawyer. What did they find? They found say na lie. Say he no be lawyer. Who was the real lawyer? They say my ex-wife, Miriam, be lawyer at that time where they run the law firm. Because of that, the court said he violated the Lawyers Act. For claiming you are a lawyer, you need the law firm. Maybe say now your wife, now be the lawyer. So you violated.
Okay, you see, because I was following this story, when eventually we are started seeing the bad sign was when his wife went to court to obtain an injunction to take custody of all their children and even remove his name from the law firm. Okay, being a citizen of the nation, I know that he'll have some insight into what was going down. Sweden is not very, the Swedish people are not, they are not very many. Okay, so it's easy for you to know what is going down. But I have to say this. Some people think we'll come here to do damage control for who? For who? If I was as brave as they are, I would be in Nigeria. Okay? Because we some of us, we started shouting about injustice that's been done, being done in almost every part of Nigeria, but most especially to the southeast. And nobody listened. Instead, we were termed as IPOB members, So it's not a question of trying to do damage control, but it's a question of saying once something is right, let's do what is right. Let's not, beat about the bush. If they have taken Nnamdi Kanu and the law of the land says what, you cannot put something on nothing. That's a legal term. Okay, you can't go to somebody's country, kidnap somebody, bring the person, and gain from what your illegality. Is that not what the same thing that these people are saying? You are in Finland and you are trying to use your position to do certain things in other nations will not allow you. So why is Nnamdi Kanu's on different from, if you guys can do that much, all right? And let's not go there. That's, like I said, we don't want to spread our wings too far so that we can deal with the issue that brought us here. Thank you.
The lawyer's hat. in Finland. The end or the beginning? Is it the end or the beginning to another?
That's nothing. In fact, I was shocked to learn that, Simon Ekpa was not a lawyer. That really damaged my, confidence in him, because I've always thought that he was a lawyer. And by his defense, if you followed the court proceedings, he was exceptionally intelligent in answering some of the questions, and he wasn't being held by his wife. That was one other thing that I felt a bit concerned about. Because if your wife, who listens to all your conversation, is not in the same parole with you, she can actually be a snitch. Okay? So if his wife was not in agreement with him, which she clearly showed she was not, it then means that it was going to be a difficult defense, and which is exactly what has turned out to be. Why then do you say you are what you are not? If your wife, for instance, my wife holds a PhD, I don't go about telling people that, I'm a PhD holder. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Okay? So why then go up? If it's your wife that is the lawyer, it's okay. So the law firm is already in your name. You cannot actually refer to your wife as the lawyer. But now saying you're a lawyer and now the court has to prove that you are not a lawyer, it becomes a big issue because how these things fall like pack of cards. Okay, when they can be able to prove that you have lied once, lied twice, then the third one is forgone, because it means that all this while you are not being truthful in what you have been doing. So the moment it was established that he was not a real lawyer, then every pack of cards began to fall.
That thing. Was an athlete, then a politician, then a separatist leader, now a prisoner in Finland. 6 years behind bars, not in Nigeria, but far away Finland. The message from everything we just read. This story showed one thing. The internet is not lawless. What was posted, whatever you post, whatever you incite, can come back and hurt you, the poster. Okay? It can even come back to jail you. Another thing we must learn is the speed of this trial. Nigeria judiciary should learn from Finland how to haste cases than letting them linger for ages. What do you think about this news? Say some EKPA, they don't give am 6 years imprisonment for Finland. And so we see am. If you go read down by yourself, I join everything together to tell you the story of Simon Ekpa. So now, you don't see am so. What do you think? Drop it in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Okay, thank you, Dan Azza. Dan Azza, we need to invite you and have a discussion with you. So if you're listening to me, please reach out to Dr. Damages. We would like to have a very robust discussion with you, because you make everything so simple and straightforward to those who want to learn. Those who want to hear the truth and take the truth. But not everybody likes the truth, so I don't know if they want to learn really. Okay, so that is the nutshell. I use that as our baseline, because he touches on everything so quickly and so straight to the answer, and so we don't have to really go about navigating too much to get to what the truth looks like or what the truth should be. I'm still waiting for my guests to come in so we can have a tete on this. Oscar Blackstone, I don't know, you should be on holiday now, so get onto this platform. Let us Jojo Chukudi, I don't know where you are, but we'll be glad to have you. And Hajo di Diso, please, I know who you are, so you can equally get on, since you have a contrary opinion to what is going on. Please feel free to jump in and let's jaw. Let's jaw. This is big because a lot of people, someone has a large following, and because of that, I know that a lot of people will be interested. So let's discuss. Wherever you are, here comes my brother and friend, the public guy himself, and also my good brother and friend also. Mr. Oti. Mr. Oti and I go a long way. When I say go a long way, he was supposed to be a priest. I was also supposed to be a priest. But here we are today, living a different life. You are all welcome to this discussion. and I really appreciate your coming in quickly. Just one more video, and then we can go on and talk about it. I want to show you what it looks like to be in the Swedish prison.
That I had never experienced before until now. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you, Hotel Cacola, for the invitation and modernized the wall. Oh my god. In this case we have two beds. Originally there was only one because of the isolating section. We have here some radio box. Here we have our toilet paper, but no one can steal it. No. Of course we will have also a couple of hours to feel the sensation of this room. So probably the most shocking thing is that prisoners were allowed to have sauna. Only in Finland, definitely. Not having a toilet to poop, no, that's a bucket. And prisoners were able to go once a week to the saunas. This is pretty fancy, pretty nice. In 2007 this prison was decided to be closed because of the bad conditions of the building, the illegal activities, and the security that it was just in the center of the city. It has been 2 hours now. Solitary confinement starts now. It's 2 a.m. right now. Honestly, I have woken up a couple of times and I have hit my head 2 times here above. I don't know, it has been hard to sleep a little bit. Good morning. This was such a great experience. Hotel Cacola really teleported me into the old Finnish, the past, and a completely different environment that I had never experienced before until now. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you, Hotel Cacola, for the invitation, and see you in the next one. Bye.
Okay, that is some of... I just choose one of the worst ones. I didn't want to give you guys the one that looks like Transcorp Hilton that is there in... I wanted to just see the worst of the situation in prison in Finland. So those who are thinking that Simon Ekpa is going to suffer for 6 years, they should think again. Because did you see a bottle of wine in that table there? You know, you saw a bottle of wine in one of the tables there. So even the prisoners are giving wine. So I mean, the only thing that's different is that you're not going to be allowed to move around, but life will be good, you know. And yes, Pablo, you're welcome. What do you say and what do you think about what is going on or going down with our brother, the self-acclaimed Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa?
I say assalamu alaikum and I welcome us to today in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. I think you started by saying that this is a sad day.
Yeah, I think it's sad because he has followers. I'm not, obviously, I'm not one of his followers, but he has people who admire him. He has people who celebrate him. He has people who look at him, and I respect those people, and I respect him also. I can do what he's doing.
I'm one of his admirer.
Yeah, so I don't have any problem with you, bro.
No, I think to me it's not a sad day. I think it's a very important day in terms of the new world that we live in, that we have to coexist with the cyber world. So there is a bigger implication than the way we just assume from just Nigeria and Finland, right? So there is from the platform owner by themselves. You have to start looking at their own love. But I don't think we'll get to that stage yet until after the final verdict of their high court, because from the international community is actually paying attention. From the day it confirmed that he's been arrested, the international world is looking, what is it going to be like? You know, in terms of cross-border jurisdiction, cyber. We're talking about free speech the other time. What is the cross line between free? What is the cross line between the digital activism and all that kind of thing? So it has a wider implication. So other countries, other nations, other internationals are paying attention. What is he going to be? Because he's going to set a precedent. I think he probably be the first person. I could be wrong, but I think he's the first person that is being charged.
You're right.
Yeah. So it's more of a it's going to be a bit more of a reference case for as long as the world that we live in today exists. So there's still more going on. So I'm looking at it from that angle. But again, when I read, especially follow the story from international media, one thing that keep occurring is the word Biafra. I think regardless of what's, if this is the end of his activity or we see here to see the come, I think that word has been registered. And one of my strongest argument for him then is that he will be credited as somebody who who algorithmize, if there's a word like that, algorithmize the word Biafra, so into the conscience of the likes of TikTok and the new digital media that never existed before his own time. So he will be credited, just like Nnamdi Kanu will be, no matter how if you tell the story of Nnamdi Kanu, you have to tell the story of the internet. So the same thing when you tell the story of Biafra, story of EKPA, you tell the story of social media. So to me, I think that is his contribution, and it's a story that is still being told. So it's a day for every with the international animal. You're talking about people they walk around without having a boy cross border with the nomadic the Fulanis of this world. So it's a case study for us. We are taking it to classroom, and we study what is going on.
Yeah, you see, thank you so much, Mr. Oti. What came into the international media as they are analyzing what has transpired between the court and Simon Ekpa. One of the things they said is that the reason this escalated was because Nigeria has failed to have a border, an internationally recognized border. Instead, it allows Fulanis of all sorts to flow in freely and flow out freely and go to any part. I mean, I'm talking about international media now, in analyzing what has led to the agitation in the Southeast. Will you agree with them on that analysis, that that's what have escalated the the agitation of other tribes in Nigeria, especially the Igbo people?
No. Now this I think if I can just identify one thing, put my finger on one thing that is the problem, our problem. I think it's really lack of clarity, lack of moral clarity. You know, so many these things are kind of also mixed up. You know, very strands. You know, it's complex, and really, we can only begin to analyze by perhaps identifying one aspect of it. Okay, now for one thing, well, KJ, when you were introducing this discussion, you did mention that you paid attention, you followed the trial of Mr. Simon Agba. Well, I mean, I didn't. It for me, I've no reason to be interested in it, quite frankly. And then you appear to see him as a freedom fighter. I think that is a category mistake. Now the reason why I'm saying that is this: freedom. Whose freedom? Okay, so that's the first question. You know, I'm sure you cannot give a right answer, straightforward and uncontestable answer. Whose freedom is he fighting for? Okay, we don't know. So now and again, when we talk about the Southeast, the confusion, the killings. Well, I'm not gonna say that someone Ekpa is at least not solely responsible for the mayhem, for the chaos there, but again, it does not deny the fact that he has played a part. Okay, and that's what is going on. It's not freedom fighting. I mean, that's not how freedom is fought for. Again, whose freedom? So it's all messed up. This gentleman, I don't have any sympathy for him. Equally, I am not rejoicing. I don't have any reason to be happy, or that he finds himself in trouble. But I just wish that our people could, learn from experience. I mean, you don't have to kind of. That is when we talk about education. It's also learning experience, what goes on, understanding how the world works. Okay, you may be passion is not enough. Are you with me? Passion in anything we're doing in life is not enough. You also have to understand how it works. And that's where really knowledge and experience and the willingness to learn, to be corrected, that's where it comes in. Okay, no one person knows everything. So when I look at this chap called Simon Ekpa, the way he carries himself, who on earth could take this guy seriously? He's not serious. Yes, look. So, and then he says he calls himself a prime minister, and then that he's gonna declare Republic of Biafra. What a bullshit! What a nonsense! And the people are taking this seriously. And then Now because here I know some people on personal basis, friends that even believe in these things. Are you with me? They actually believe that Biafra is gonna come and take him, regard him as a prime minister. People living in the United Kingdom. So it shows we have a long way to go. And that's why I said, the first problem is this confusion, lack of clarity, moral clarity. Everything is messed up. That's not how things work. So, so we have to begin to really listen, pay attention. Look, you know what is going on. You know what has happened. What has happened to us as a people. People that really should lead. Well, you may call them elite or whatever, or intellectuals or people that whatever you want to call them. But at least people that have some knowledge, people that have some understand how the world works. Everything has a system, and I'm not saying that we have to. The status quo has to remain. We're not gonna change it. Myself, I'm a revolutionary in my thinking, radical. But again, you have to understand how these things work. You can't just be doing anything and then you think there are no consequences. That's foolishness. Consequences will come. So and then, as I said, somebody looks at this someone and they say he's a leader. What are his leadership qualities? No, tell me, what is it? Is it bravado? I mean, is that what you consider leadership quality? Is he knowledgeable? Okay, now we say he's been a pretender. He's saying he's a lawyer when he is not. What nonsense! And then you take this guy seriously. So please,
Okay, so hold on your guns, Mr. Oti. We are coming. He said going to be a lively discussion. And
yes, but I can take him seriously.
No, it's okay.
Okay, I can go on, but it's not that I don't.
Yes, I'm coming to you. Before I come to revolution, I want to ask you one question. Like I said,
okay, go ahead.
Was there any national conference when the South Africans were fighting for apartheid? Was there any time Nelson Mandela or Thabo Mbeki or even the great Steve Biko?
Okay.
Hold on, sir. Hold on. Let me frame my question.
I know where you're going. I don't know where you're going, and I have the answer to that question. Go ahead.
No.
I know where you're
Please
going.
don't assume.
Okay, go ahead.
Not only because of you, but also for those listening to us. Was there any time that they called a national conference that all black South Africans met and say, we are now fighting for apartheid and we use only one direction to fight?
Okay. Now, okay. Let me answer. Okay, the answer to that question is quite simple. Now, again, you see, that is also this category mistake when you say he's a freedom fighter. Now, I don't know who.
Look, he's not a freedom fighter. Why do you think that?
Who's freedom? So look, you see, so we have to be clear, okay? And by the way, so we talk about the Igbos living in Nigeria. Where are we going? We're not going anywhere, okay? And I don't know how many Igbos you've asked, okay? And then they express their view one way or the other. This is an assumption. This is people pretentious. People are arrogant themselves. The powers, the authority. They don't have. And as I said, it's just because the elders, okay, Igbo elders have, I don't know, for some reason, for whatever, kind of, abdicated their role, gone astray, okay? And the intellectuals are the same thing, no voice, okay? It's a shame, but the likes of Simon Egba, that is nowhere to go. It's a path that leads to perdition, and we have seen what has happened. So where is the improvement? Where is the security? Where is the prosperity? And where are the promises he's made? Nothing. It's all bullshit. Everybody. So listen. Okay, I'm not saying. Of course, I understand the problem we have, right? Okay, but we have to.
Don't mind him. I've already started the broadcast. I did my own.
We have to know how to go about it, right?
And yes, already on.
So that's a different topic.
Yes.
How to go about it. But for this, if it is this brigandage, this kind of this kind of shenanigans. No, it's pointless. It's people are making money. People are just deceiving others. People are just leading the youths astray. That's the pity of it. Okay. So and that's when I say people we have to well, I'm happy my friend Revolution here, and if you allow me, this is a kind of a digress. Revolution, So the other time, I mean, I don't know. Well, I'm happy you didn't take it as an insult, and it's not an insult on my part. I don't insult people, but sometimes I can be harsh with my words. If I'm convinced about what I'm saying, I don't make an apologies about my views. They may be strong, and I express them strongly if I believe in them. So look, it's not. You shouldn't take it personally. And what I mean by that is this: it's because I'm speaking to something. I'm speaking to if like a kind of something that has arisen, amongst our people, and this is what I mean by kind of being passionate, that people follow passion, but without having proper knowledge, without knowing, how to go, right? So being passionate about something, about the cause, that is not how you're gonna achieve it. You also have to know the right way to, the path to tread, right? So I mean, people can express opinion. I express mine, and if you challenge me, you can even describe my opinion as foolish and idiotic. I don't mind. You have if you express opinion, you have to be ready. Expect people to challenge your opinion, attack your opinion, ridicule it. That is what is a public debate. That is a marketplace of ideas. That's how it functions. I don't. Anybody can express their opinions. No, but if I say your opinion is not educated, you shouldn't take it as an offense. Okay.
So, I thought you were going to say. I think the thing you're trying to say is revolution. I'm sorry for that word.
No. I'm not saying sorry. Why should I say sorry?
Okay. Say sorry. All right. Then there's no need for you because you already.
Sorry, because it's silly to say sorry when I'm not sorry. I'm just
telling
you.
Elaborating, and explaining myself. What you just said now was the same thing you said the last time. So if you're not going to add any more new things to it, then let's leave it and move on.
But just kind of underline the point.
A revolution have not taken offense.
To say that I'm not really sorry. That's the point.
Guy. He's a simple guy. Let's move on. Thank you so much for that. Anyway, so we'll put it in content that you actually try to address it. Revolution. You are one of those who love Simon Ekpa, and let's not beat about the bush. Simon Ekpa is somebody that can be loved. He's a fine man with a pattern of Nnamdi Azikiwe those days. You understand what I'm saying? So, how do you see this judgment? Does it affect his personality as far as you're concerned?
Yeah, good evening, brothers. Ovi, respect, KJ, respect. Mr. Know It All, respect to you too. You see, KJ, I don't have time. I will come back. You understand? But I have 2 minutes to just say something. This judgment has made, in my own opinion, has made Samuel Ekpa a hero. Somebody was just asking some few seconds ago, whose freedom fighter is he fighting for? He's fighting for people like us. Just to answer that simple question, because some of them who think they know it all, if you don't belong to their class, you are not educated, which is the basic problem of Nigeria. I mean, sometimes they say silence is best answer for let him finish the other side. You don't need to talk to some people because what they believe in their own mind is that only what they think is right. If you are not up to their level, then everybody should keep quiet. You understand me? I don't know. That's what I'm understanding from him. Like he was trying to say something to me. You asked him, I thought you wanted to apologize. He said he still wants to repeat what he said, that I'm not educated, which means I'm not into his class. You understand me? Or whatever I'm saying to him is bullshit. Whatever Samuel Ekpa is saying to him is bullshit. It's fine. We don't have anything against that. We are in a system that is destroying a lot of Nigerian people. I'm not, for me as a person, I made it clear in this program, I don't want the division of Nigeria. It's not going to help us. But many Nigerians have believed, because of the way everything is going, the class system of Nigeria, like this, my brother there, talking as if he owns the world. He knows everything. So if we don't belong to his class, then we should be shut down. You understand me? The politicians, the same thing. So when somebody like Samuel Ekpa or Nnamdi Kanu stands up to fight for the common good of Nigeria, it becomes their brain cannot take it. Who is he fighting for? Did he consult me? You know. So KJ, let me stop here and go and do something, and I will come back later when I have the time to to really talk about this issue, because I have an issue to talk, but I don't have the time. But
all right, I will look forward to hearing from you, because you are one of those who have said on this channel many times that you stand with Simon Ekpa. I'm not,
100%, bro. 100%.
there's nothing wrong with that. And my brother Kenen is also one of those who also have expressed his opinion. And here is Okpobula, who has also expressed that opinion. And I want, yes, we'll talk to you later. I want Okpobula to answer this question for me. Oti asked a very pertinent question. He said, and I quote, "Who is Simon Ekpa fighting for?" Do you have an idea? Or is he a stranger, just a lonely, wild wolf running around thinking that he has a pack of wolves with him?
Ekpa could be fighting for his family, his own kids. He has kids. I think kids are what fighting for. So unless his kids are not Biafrans, because I just the reason why I said that I follow it from the international reporting, and the word Biafra keep repeating. Matter of fact, they admitted that the country Biafra once existed for like 3 years. This is put out there by educated people, facts, scholars, not Agbero like us. This is a report of scholars that Biafra existed for 3 years, which eventually ended through the civil war. So these are scholars. 2 months ago, I was in Texas, and I get into argument with one Ivory Coast guy who is a ardent supporter of Traore. So, and I was like, what is the difference between somebody going from American hands to the Russian hands and all that? So we're, very two Africans. So we're going at it, screaming that we're at somebody else's house. So the owner of the house is an Indian. The man walk outside. He look at her. He say, "Come, easy. I understand this." So I was trying to explain to the man. He was trying to explain. He said, "No, calm down." He said, when India was going through their struggle, they have two people just like you. Some people want us to still continue with the British way of doing things, while the other way. So he told us with a smile, and before you knew it, all of us got keep quiet. So, and our people say there's no one road to market, right? There's no one way. Say this is the only way to get freedom. If not, a PhD holders go together, go just put them together. Nation will come to be. It doesn't work like that. No nation in this world. It is a combination of the rejected, the foolish one, the idiot. Because now the idiots, then they go die. Now then go sacrifice their blood for that dream to come true. The educated one will not. So it's a marriage. And that is a definition of a society. Everybody get rights. This idea of education experts, this was less than 100 years ago. And that thing come to mainstream due to Manhattan Project. Because now educated and expert carried out that, it was very successful. But again, there are many roads to market. No, you will never understand why that person wants whatever he wants. It's a different thing. So the same, just as it would the Nigerians we have.
KJ, am I allowed to interrupt?
As long as very civil, we are still for now.
No, look, I'm not civil. Look, I don't look. Look, it's now the question really is this: the people, any freedom fighter, quote unquote, is fighting for. The people have to be with you. They have to follow you willingly, not by compulsion. Okay, not the threat of when their lives are threatened and the properties, and they are forced to behave in a certain way. You call that freedom fighting. So where is the grassroots, the mass following? It's not there. It's up by force. And that's why all this, you have arms everywhere, right? So, and they're talking about, you're leading people. No. No, that's people don't want that. Nobody wants that. Go down to the village, to the grassroots, and find out what's going on. And then these people stay in Europe, in America, in Asia, these places, and then they're sponsoring these things, using the media, the internet, and they say it's freedom fighting. No, if you're a serious freedom fighter, you have to be on the ground. Get to the ground, talk to the people. Let's see how they welcome you. So
okay. Thank you. But coming back to you before. Tony, you're welcome. I am glad that you are here. So we have very mature people who can give us insight and foresight into what we are discussing. I welcome you. But let me go back to yes, Pablo. You heard what Oti said. Please, can you?
I think
that topic.
Education, at least the one way I receive, teaches me that maturity has to put environment and decorum into consideration. There's a rules that we state here. Talk your own. The idea we keep going personal is because we interject to just make points that is already out there. Education says allow a grown man to finish his point, then you attack that point. The fact that you are getting one interject for not even I was just making a point, which is contrary to the point that we made before. But again, we are talking about educated people should lead. And that's why I'm just putting that as a caveat.
Oh, God.
Now, the idea of a nation state, the idea of freedom is relative. But one thing is constant, is technology. The evolution of technology. If you don't acclimatize, if you don't use the modern technology to go with whatever, you'll be left behind. So the idea that we are using current technology to actually express how we feel regarding our freedom is nonsense because people are not on ground physically. But again, before they amalgamate Nigeria it took them almost over 300 years. They were with us from 1400 to 1914. So they were there. What am I trying to say? The journey of freedom is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It might not come to fruition in our lifetime. You don't have to understand what agitator is. It doesn't have to speak your language or dance to the tune that you understand. That's
all right. Hold your thought. Hold your thought. Ovie, hold your thought. I like where you're going. I like that because sometimes people think this thing is a marathon. You know why people are afraid of Islam? Because Islam has 100 years plan. 100 years. 100. And the person who's starting it knows that he will not be around to complete it. But they believe in it. So let's do
this one point. If revolution take the shape that you understand, it is not evolution.
Yeah, it's control. And that's what happened in the Arab Spring, and today we don't have anything different from what it before it started. Let's go to Tony.
Media, modern technology. That's what it is.
Uzo, you're welcome. Let's go to Tony. I see you are driving, Uzo. As soon as
let me just make my let me make my comment. I can just
Tony, keep on going. Make his comments since he's going
Tony,
to work.
So go ahead. Go ahead. Please. I hope you. What's up? How you doing now? I hail everybody. As they be, as they hot. I just want to make one contribution from what is asking. Everyone know me. I'm not Mazi Simon supporter. And he said that too hard or anything. But something he said, I think some of his ideas and something he said. Sometimes he said something that is not good. The truth is fact. I said the other day, since he was arrested, the statistics already calmed down a little. It's not how it used to be anymore. Any statistician, I will tell you that is the truth. And the other way around is that his arrest doesn't stop the agitation of Biafra. He's not the first person. He's not the second. He's not the top person. We have someone like who's educated. They have absorbed and control a large crowd. All right. He was arrested. These are other. Biafra still continue. All right. So for him asking who is he agitating for, who is he fighting for, he may not know. He may not know. I hear in Texas, his supporters if you see kind of people that support him, you will sometimes you ask yourself, this is my uncle, does he know what he's doing? But that's the uncle that he said, you get the reason what you see that is supporting him. So everybody has their support, no matter good or bad. Even Jesus of Nazareth, all of us are Christians. Even as much as we believe that he's Messiah, some people see from his own brothers still tell you that he's not. He's a criminal. Why was he killed? They can't criminal to kill him. All right, he's from his own family. So for me, Mayaba has done his own part, and he has gone to jail for it. So if after all this he didn't go to jail, that means he just is not real. We all know that everybody that wants to stop anything, he must pay for it, either with their life or he didn't like plan to go. If you do all this they allow you go. That means, guy, you're not even wanting to call anything. You're just nothing. So he has already started for his whatever he said. He may not say everything right. If he says everything right, that means it's wrong. He may have dragged the government, drag everybody to the mud, do whatever he does. But today, let's talk about how we're going to contribute, not who is he fighting for. He's fighting for millions of people, and I'll show you that. All right, he's fighting for millions of people there. He's fighting for some of them you respect. If you know some of them, you respect them when they talk. You will listen to them, but they are listening to someone else. So that's how I see highlight. Someone is not the first person. All right, we all remember Adeka's grandson in London. He was nothing. He didn't say. He was also arrested. We'll talk about it. He's in prison for 5 years or 6 years now. So it's not the first person, all right, that have sent, that have been arrested, that have do that. But let us hold our thoughts. Let's not to condemn him, or everybody have the right to support whoever want to support. I have the right to say if I want to support him, he's fighting for me. Everybody has the right. But ask him who he's fighting for. If he doesn't fight for you, he fight for somebody else. If I was somebody else,
Excuse me. Can I ask this man a question?
Let him finish.
Let me finish. Oh God.
He said transit. Let him speak. You will me and here.
I don't know
we
if
have
you
3 hours.
You understand what he's talking about? So you have a right to support everybody. So even a criminal, somebody did something wrong, you support him because come on, what kind of logic is that?
For you, no.
Can we have educational?
He said for you, that is a criminal. For somebody else, not a criminal. So don't go say you see somebody as an innocent person. That person is.
We can't distinguish between.
Come on, listen to yourself. You are mature. I know that you're mature. You know that where you be. I don't mention Jesus of Nazareth, for example. You see him as he's a Messiah. He's the Son of God. But some people see him as a criminal. So that's how life is. That's how life is. You can't say
education stays don't attack.
Okay.
You don't want education. What is the benefit of it? Not me you there here. No, not to go to the ground. You don't want education. Not me you there here. Education. Leave that way they talk, my brother. So he may see someone as a criminal.
Do you understand what you're saying?
Oti,
no, that's what you're saying. I'm not saying you're not what you're saying. You that stammer now, you're not what you're saying. You want us to go for grab, I get that liver. Not that I got to keep those and I've been. I get that liver to go where I want to go. So allow somebody to support where you want to support. I'll give you an example. John Nazareth, he's a Messiah which you know. In people still call and thief. So whatever it is, them and come here and ask people who is support. I'm not in support.
You allow people to listen to him for God's sake.
Okay.
Let the people.
Okay.
So
if you
come here to I just finish by saying, yeah, he's gone. He has paid for what he's done, whether good or bad. He's paying for it. So let's just learn from that. Everybody can go learn for that on my own. Let's learn from that.
If you notice the title of our broadcast, it says he's not, he's not undaunted by whatever situation he finds himself now. The fight continues. It's called those days when we used to do student union. It's called a luta continua. It doesn't have an end. We will go back and come back tomorrow. And we did it for a long time in Nigeria until we realized that we have many sellouts. Just like I want to tell Oti, there's always going to be people who are not in support of what you are doing, whether it's good of your nation or not. When I was one of the set of coppers who fought and said, look, they were paying us 1,500 naira at that time. We said this was not a livable wage. We fought for it. We agitated, we wrote, we were on the front side, but we never got it. I never be part of those who took the increment. Up to now they are paying them 33,000 naira. But it was we who initiated that these things should be increased after every certain time in the year. So sometimes a leader is not the person who is going to actually benefit for whatever is going to be implemented. But the thing is for you to start. The purpose for you to make your society better than you saw it. Is it that America is not good until somebody came up with the term "Make America Great Again"? Have America never been great all the time? Okay, so the thing is, somebody must introduce something to move his society forward. And what is the Biafra agitation for? Why did Biafra come back after many years? And that question goes to Tony. Why is it that the people of the Southeast? All right. Why is it that the people of the Southeast went back?
Right.
The young men in the East, not even the older people now, are still saying we will want to go to Biafra. Why?
Greetings, KJ, greetings, Ovie, greetings, OT. I can see Mr. James there, and Uzo. I know you're listening, and then Revolution is probably listening to, although he's off. I greet everybody. There's something that Uzo just said that just reminded me of a friend who is a Jew, is a Hasidic Jew. So I was writing something that I was going to teach in Sunday school, and it's about Jesus, So he asked me, "What are you writing?" I told him. He said, "Oh, that guy is a rebel." So he's a rebel. I said, "Really?" He said, "Yes." Is that how you people view him? He said, "Yes, he's a rebel." I said, "But for me, he's the Messiah." He said, No. I shouldn't mention that where he is. So we just laughed over it. It's the same thing that some people see Ojukwu, and they still see him as a rebel. And some see him as a hero. So it depends on which divide that you and what information that you have about what this situation. I think either side, Oti has his views, and I see the point that he's making, that he is entitled to disagree with the strategy. He may not disagree with the concept of Biafra, but he may disagree with the methodology and the fact that that person is representing him as a person, because, like he has always said, he's not consulted. So he has a right to say, "I don't believe in that struggle," or "I don't believe in, if I believe in the struggle, I don't believe in the methodology that is being used." And I think there are a lot of people who don't believe in the methods of Samuel Ekpa. If you look at it, it's more extreme than Nnamdi Kanu. Even Nnamdi Kanu, there are people who don't even believe in his strategy. But that's not saying that they don't believe in Biafra. There's a need. I can see a reason why people are agitating, are saying, particularly the young ones, are saying that this country from the Southeast, this country, and not even just people from the Southeast. There are even people who are not from the Southeast who feel that, these people have the right to say they don't belong. And if it can be established that there's the general consensus, and I underline that, if it can be established that the majority of the people from the Southeast say they don't want to belong to Nigeria, they have a reason, to so do, and the government should listen to them. And there are so many reasons why they can feel that way, because we know we've talked about so many times about marginalization of the Southeast. Yes, there are other sections of the country that are marginalized, but if you look at the case for the Igbos, you would see that every day you see signs, even from the central government, that they are treated like people who don't belong to Nigeria, who are not wanted. And these things have been coming up every time. You see it even naked. For instance, we had what Abike Dabere said, a few days ago. you know, which is I challenge it in a particular platform, which is unfortunate. And this is someone who is serving not the state government, who is serving the federal government, who's working for the federal government, and is speaking in a way and manner that is odious, that is offensive. Because if you look at, if you take a sample of people who are in jail all over the world and who have been sentenced and condemned for whatever offense, you won't just see only the Igbos. You go to Saudi Arabia, you see a particular ethnic group dominating. You go to Italy, you go to, there are people from all walks of life, from Nigeria who are there for one offense or the other. You will see chiefs, traditional rulers who are there. Now, to just pick one section and just castigate them, what kind of impression are you trying to create if it's not hate? And that's unfortunate. So when people begin to see this type of things and policies from government, from even presidents, you feel that, well, if you don't want me to vote, I cannot live free in the state, even though the constitution of the federal government, allows me to live freely and do my trade anywhere, and then every time people are always pointing there. If they don't call me iPod, they say, I don't belong here, I don't have a right to vote, and so on and so forth. And you see policies that discriminate against, even from the structure of the states today. You still see glaringly that all I talked about it here. All the 6 geographical zones, have six states. In one has even 7, but one has 5, and nobody talks about it. And by implication, you are depriving them of revenue that is due to them. You are depriving them of representation. You are depriving infrastructure, education, health, whatever. You are depriving them of so many things. Enrollment in the army, in this, whatever. You are depriving them, and this is evident. And we've lived along with this. It's not 1 year, it's not 2 years, it's not 3 years, it's not even 10 years. It's been on, and nobody wants to talk about it. Okay, and you say such people should not, if they feel you every time you rub it in their eyes, you are a defeated people, you are a defeated people. So come on, what has the Southeast done that the North has not done, for instance? What has they done? What have they done? So if you have people who are agitating, they have a right to agitate. They do have a right, and they should be given a listening ear. But what some of us disagree with, and I am one of those who disagree, the strategy that some of them have employed, I don't endorse it. I don't endorse Samuel Ekpa. And so I support Oti when he says this strategy that he's using is wrong. And thank God he's not been tried in Nigeria, because if he was tried in Nigeria and jailed and sentenced, in Nigeria, they'll say, oh, but this is a foreign country. And so you can't say bias. There's no element of bias. If he's jailed, it's unfortunate, but he deserves that. And in any case, he expects it, because if you go to the trenches, that's the likely implication. That if you are found guilty, if but I think he threw caution to the wind, because in the way he went about it, some of the things that we heard him say, he was here on this platform, and I saw some of his responses and the way he reacted, and that's not that's, for me, is not I don't think, I'm not his fan,
Okay.
So that's my reaction. But as to whether there's a reason for anybody to say we don't want to belong to Nigeria anymore, I think I can find, for me, I can find, even though I don't come from the Southeast, but I can find good reasons why anybody would say I don't want to belong. There are millions of reasons why anybody can say I don't want to belong, because they are not being treated well. That's the statement of fact. But how you go about it is the issue. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't know who changed my background. I don't usually use this fancy background. Okay. Yes, and what I wanted to say was that, in response, and I'm going to ask the question afterwards. Not a lot of people appreciate the backdrop or the background or the method of a lot of freedom fighters, because everybody have the way of doing their own thing. And so even with Simon Ekpa, but my question, my aggro with that is that those who didn't like Nnamdi Kanu's method didn't provide any system or any better method when Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. The kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu is what brought about the rise of Simon Ekpa. And I want to make it clear here. Some people say Nnamdi Kanu called, Simon Ekpa handed over, the Radio Biafra. No, that's not true. That's not true. I wish my friend Dr. Chidi will come online. If you are listening to us, we would like to hear your experience from there. Dr. Chidi runs the worship media in Canada, and he will tell his own story any day he chooses to. I will not say it to him for him. But the truth is, Simon Ekpa did his own thing and was doing his own thing, but that vacuum was created. And listen or fill in that gap when Nnamdi Kanu was not there. The intellectuals that Ochi is asking for didn't fill in that gap. The Amadiohas and the heads of chiefs in the Igbo land didn't fill that land. And they did that position, and they didn't provide a mechanism or a structure. I think as a father, if I was in the ruling class and I didn't like that system, as soon as that system didn't, they didn't allow this young man to operate, I would have called and said, this is the way to go around this thing. Since that wasn't done, I don't think anybody should blame Simon or blame anybody for the method they're applying. Now that Simon is facing, greatest ordeal in his life, those who have a better system, please show up in this channel and tell us how we can go about it to make it better, or start a movement that will let people know how just what Tony have reiterated will be handled, because there are many things that is against the Southern Easterners that needs to be addressed. Not only what he mentioned. Remember that we still score the highest in JAM and WAEC and still don't get admission. So there are many things that are there that should be addressed, that have not been addressed. But I welcome you, Mr. James. Welcome for coming. Thank you so much for tuning in. What can you say so far? We've been dealing with the issue of Simon Ekpa, who was sentenced to 6 years in prison, even though he has, he and his lawyer are right now meeting to discuss the way forward, which is they are going to appeal it, and the fight goes on. So he has vowed to keep fighting, and I support him to keep fighting, because any society that don't have radicals is the dead society. That's what Babangida said. So please go ahead. We can hear you slightly, not very much.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, but it's
noisy. It's raining heavily over here.
Okay, we can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm afraid the rain is so heavy that there's likely to be water shortage in heaven. Okay. Yes, I've been listening to the various gentlemen expressing their opinion about the issue. What I'm interested in actually is what I will still call the Eastern question. Some time ago, while we were discussing the Ghana issue, I used the phrase Eastern question, and some people were annoyed. Somebody even went as far as telling me not to take Panadol for another man's headache, that the matter does not concern me. Somebody mentioned something like that. Now, we should all be concerned, because although it is an Eastern problem, it is affecting the whole of Nigeria. There's no section of the country that is excluded from the top, what we call, there's a word in physics, the top, from the turbulence that is, rocking the nation. I call it Eastern question for a number of reasons. You just give me a little time to explain certain things. When the federal government of Nigeria during the military era decided to industrialize the country, they set up a larger steel complex in Warri, the minority area. A Jakarta Steel Complex in Kwara State then, I think it's now Kogi or Nasarawa, I don't know. Katsina Steel Rolling Mill in Katsina. Jos Steel Rolling Mill in Jos. Osogbo Steel Rolling Mill in Osogbo. None was located in eastern Nigeria. And those who feel that there's nothing like Eastern question, I would like to ask them the question, why was none located in eastern Nigeria? Up till the time I left Nigeria, we had 3 international airports: Port Harcourt, Lagos, and Kano. Despite the fact that the Igbos are among the most traveled Nigerians, if not the most traveled Nigerians, they refused to give them an international airport. Those who believe it's not an Eastern question, they should tell me why it is not an Eastern question. Abandoned property issue during the Civil War. Up till now, nobody is saying anything about it. Those who believe it's not an Eastern question, they should tell me why it's not an Eastern question. The 3 arrows, reconciliation, rehabilitation, and something of Yakubu Gowon, no victor, no vanquish. How sincere has the federal government been? If it's not an Eastern question, somebody should tell me why it is not an Eastern question. Now, these issues we are dealing with, be it the Igbo King in Ghana, Simon Ekpa, and Nnamdi Kanu, somebody should tell me why these issues should not be Nigerian problems. The country is being tossed up and down on the political arena because of these problems the Easterners are grappling with. I've been of the opinion that if they are part of the country, we should address their problems. Just like we felt that the country was not industrialized, so we need steel structures to produce, steel billets and what have you, to industrialize the country. We should incorporate, there's no way you can detach them from the country and you want the country to be normal. That is one way I'm looking at it. Now, the ANC in South Africa, initially they did not believe in armed struggle. They believed in negotiation. Let us talk over it peacefully. Till it got to a point, they said no. Peaceful negotiation will not solve the problem. Please mind you, I'm not advocating violence. Now, when they agreed that peaceful negotiation will not solve the problem, they took to armed struggle. They all left the country, with the exception of Nelson Mandela, Winnie Madikizela Mandela, I think 1 or 2 other people who remain in the country. Thabo Mbeki, Jacob Zuma, Steve Chiwete, and you name it, they all left the country, roaming the world looking for assistance. So this is where Mr. Ovie's idea is resonating with me. To fight a modern liberation movement, you don't need to be located inside the country with the modern technology at our disposal. But again, fighting the Igbo cause, the way we are fighting it now, in what way will it benefit the entire country? That is what I'm interested in. What alternatives do we have? We, the educated people, we are not preferring solutions to these problems. I remember reading a book written by James Michina. The title is Space, why the Americans were planning to go to space. The man said that no matter how difficult a problem is, if reasonable men sit down to find a common ground, the problem can be solved. That was when they were working out the modalities on how to go to the moon, what no man has ever done. And actually, reasonable men sat down, they were able to find common ground, they solved the problems, and they were able to launch man on the moon in 1969. No matter how difficult this Igbo question is, this problem can be solved. But one thing I'm sensing is that the present ruling class the ruling class that fought for the independence in 1960 has metamorphosed into this present ruling class. This is one thing disturbing the country today. We need a new political dispensation. This present ruling class cannot take us anywhere. See the way they've been governing the country. Look at the parliament. Look at the military. This was not the military of Yakubu Gowon's era I knew while I was in Nigeria. Look at the judicial service. We now have what we call fond memories of Gandhi Fawehimi, Chief Rotimi Williams, Chike Ofodile, and other people. People of their types are no longer available. The country is plunging down the drain every day. So what should we do to move the country forward? I want to suggest something. Let me also look at it from the federal point of view. I've been seeing things from the eastern point of view before I suggest something. Since the Civil War ended, the Igbos, they seem to have secluded themselves in a way, to detach themselves from, let me say, the whole country in a way, not politically or, in doing things among themselves. Before you win a presidential election in Nigeria, you must team up with another ethnic group. No matter how clever or efficient, no matter how well organized you are. Before Buhari won, he teamed up with Bola Tinubu. Before Tinubu won, he teamed up with the North. Jonathan was a president by accident. And in fact, they were even trying to deny him the opportunity because he did not team up with anybody. So before the Igbos will get what they want, there is need for them to team up with one of the major ethnic groups. This is my own opinion. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, there's no, okay, there's need for them to team up with a major ethnic group. That is if they are unable to get what they want, that is Biafra. Now, one thing they can do is this. It's just suggestion. Whosoever is annoyed, let him be annoyed. I'm just suggesting. I'm not imposing it on anyone. When General JTU Aguiyi-Ironsi was killed in 1966, he was to be killed somewhere I would not like to mention. But a prominent citizen of that state, or region rather, objected to it. So they left him, he left the state, and went to Western region. He was with Adekunle Fajuyi. He was a guest of Adekunle Fajuyi. That was where he was killed. If he had not gone to Western Nigeria, let's say he had gone to Northern Nigeria and he's trapped there, Fajuyi would not have died. Maybe he would have died another way, but not the way he died. I want to see that a Westerner laid down his life for an Igbo man. This man is my guest. For you to kill him, you just better take me along. And that was how the man died. Will it be wrong if the Igbos as a group, let's say the Bihanese, come up with a decision that at that place, I think they call it Olodo or so, in the battle, we want to erect a monument, a remembrance statue to remember Adekunle Fajuyi and JTU Aguiyi-Ironsi. These were people who laid down their lives for us. Let the past be, let bygone be bygone. Those kind of concrete moves. Let the Easterners take the lead. Let the Easterners take the lead to show to them that we are not hot. Like when this man's, what's it called, Peter Obi's brother's building was demolished in Lagos. The way the man handled it, I think I admire it so much. Now, from the look of things, it seems as if they've gone behind the scene to resolve the matter. The matter has not gone to court. So this kind of moves, if they continue for a long time, they will start yielding some fruits eventually. But again, we might not enter the promised land, according to Martin Luther King. But as a people, we'll surely get to the promised land. The people should take concrete moves. And please let me just conclude something. When things happen to the coastal minorities that are culturally somehow affiliated with the Igbos, they should show concern. For example, there is emergency rule in Rivers State. They seem not to be too concerned about the whole show. You get the point I'm making? Kensaro Wiwa was executed. It was only this man, what's his name, Ganifawa Emi, who staged demonstration, was it in Lagos or Ibadan? They didn't show any much concern. Recently, a girl was stripped naked at the international airport from Akwa Ibom State. They didn't show any concern. But when JAM result had a glitch, they took the matter very, very seriously. Of course, I'm not blaming them for taking it serious. But when things affect other people, even people who are very close to them, they seem not to show the kind of zeal they show if it had happened to them. So they should try to reach out to other people. If you look up to the present crop of politicians in Nigeria to take us to the promised land, we will never see the promised land, let alone getting there. So That is all I have to say. And I want to thank the other panelists for giving me enough time without interruption to air my opinion. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you, Mr. James.
Yes.
You are itching to respond.
well, yes.
Even though it's not
Sorry.
your turn.
Okay, yeah,
Hold
but
on.
I don't talk a lot. I don't go on and on.
Yes,
Oh
talk,
yeah,
please.
look, James. Yes, you've spoken well, but there are some points I don't agree with you. First of all, I did correct. It's not Eastern question. It's Igbo question. Okay, I think it is well known, and I think we understand that there's an Igbo question, Igbo problem in Nigeria. So, and I think I've been quite consistent in my view here that things are not working. The only the divergence of views is really how do we go about it? How do we go about rectifying the situation? Okay, it's not by shooting oneself in the leg. It doesn't make sense. You have to understand the situation and then know the right steps to take to solve it. Nigeria has a problem. Nigeria, as presently the way we are going, we don't have a country, if you ask me. And I think some of us here on this forum have expressed that view, and I don't think it shouldn't be that debatable. This is it's not how a country is run. James, this is also your view. So what do we do? And it's not being arrogant or pretentious to say that without the Igbos in Nigeria can hardly exist, at least not in the form it is. Okay, and what do we do? I don't maybe I can go on about my own if like personal activity or activities. But everyone has to get involved one way or the other, right? Because in the end, it has to be is all our affairs. We can't leave it to any set group of people. You call freedom fighters. No, it's so. And what is the solution? It's none other than politics. Okay. And when we talk about politics, people, it's not just maybe campaigning to occupy one office or the other. No, it's activism, being active, participatory in wherever you find yourself. Every politics is local. You attend meetings, call it community organizations, association meetings, and then it can be political as well. Also discuss politics in these meetings, and then understand politics, what to do, how to organize ourselves. Now, because the problem is organization. Okay, once people are organized, I can give you one or two examples. Really, what can now let me be kind of concrete or illustrate my point. This thing, Nnamdi Kanu, for example, that's sitting, that is in jail. Are you telling me that this professional body called Nigerian Bar Association, if they are organized and are self-aware, and they say, look, this is because if the country as a professional body, they practice law, they're supposed to be officers in the Temple of Justice, and then they don't even have regard for rule of law, for justice. What law are they practicing? And everybody can see the glaring injustice. Okay, the misadministration of justice that's going on, right? So can they take a stand for justice, for the well-being of the country? And actually, so look, when I'm going to court, when I'm attending court, we walk out until. Are you with me? So that is the kind of politics I'm talking about. Participatory, civil society organizations. Everybody has to be involved in this. Okay. Now, and for starters, Nigeria time has come. Really, people have to sit down and discuss this question. It's not by force. Okay, so one group of people in the southeast killing themselves in the name of Biafra, that's not going anywhere. It hasn't served anybody. It hasn't produced any benefit for anybody. It has only caused chaos and wars. Okay, so we have seen it. The evidence is there. It doesn't matter what you can believe anything. And again, people have to. The idea that everything goes. We don't have there's no difference between light and darkness. We can support anybody you want to support, and then come on, what kind of logic is this? It doesn't mean we cannot reason, or have know what's our objective facts, okay? Or maybe you don't have a value of truth. Everything is kind of some kind of relativism. I don't understand. We should be able to look at things, look at situations, analyze them objectively, okay, and make and reasoned assessment. It can just be acting for the sake of acting, without thinking, without understanding, without having a clear vision. Remember, I said from the start, lack of clarity, moral clarity. Okay, so it's part of the problem. And who are the people to kind of guide, lead? That's why the role of if like elites. I'm not saying I'm one, but intellectuals. Anybody who has who has gone to college is educated. So everybody coming to this platform is educated. And if they want to, it's like they're giving themselves alibi when they say we're not. That's nonsense. If you can express yourself, even if it's pidgin English or whatever, you have left school, primary school, secondary school, you're educated. You can take part in the public debate, in the life of your community. Okay, so all these excuses, I don't buy it. And if if anybody's if it's aware of blackmailing people, cajoling people, no, I don't give into that. So
all right,
we have to understand what is going on. And James, sorry, it's not it's not kind of passing the buck to the Igbos. This is solve this problem and then solve the problem. No. So it has to be the problem of all Nigerians. Okay, if it is a Nigerian problem. Thank you.
Okay, can I come in now?
Go ahead.
Yes. Pablo, you have heard what Mr. James said and the response that Mr. Oti has been able to canvass so far. One of the partner questions I will ask you while trying to answer this is, how could Simon's 6 years sentence change the struggle, the Biafran struggle? I don't want to say the IPOB struggle, but the Biafran struggle in the Southeast, and the vis-a-vis the struggle of the Ambazonian people, the struggle of other ethnic nationalities around Africa and in the world, like the guys in Spain and other parts of the world that are struggling. The people, there's another tribe in I'm trying to remember their name now, in Afghanistan, that also struggling to have their own nation. How will this sentencing cause people to view separatists? No, I don't like the word separatists to an independent struggle of a people around the world.
Okay, like you asked me like two questions. Let me respond to Mr. James, then I'll respond to that. Mr. James, I take three things out of what you said. Your submission. One, you said the current leaders cannot deliver anything. I totally agree with you. I am not even scared of those, the older guys now. I'm scared of those who are coming, the obese, the Kwonkosos, the Showores. I am more scared of those people. Then another thing you talk about the question. I think the three questions you asked about why the airport, why we don't. I took it to be figures of speech. You are, in other words, you are asking it the other way around. You are actually putting it to the larger country. Why do we have all these obvious injustice structures all over the place? But the third one is where I kind of disagree with you. Not necessarily because what you said is not right, but because you are seeing it from one side, and that informs your conclusion. Now, this is what I mean. I think since the early 1600s, when the Dutch took over the world, human society, be predicated on two things: money and power. Up to today, money and power, and I point to that because of we seems to undermine what the Civil War cost, especially those that lost. They were zero, like grounded to zero economically. Now, so the question again you should ask after that is, what is the probability that the fight is over? Because in human history, now lie, you know they finish. Once you are defeated, we will make sure you remain defeated for life. In fact, the America has to actually occupy the South with the American the Union Army because what they fought for, they don't want to actually implement it, which is the freedom of the black people. They literally have to put military on ground for so many years. So the people that are lost, they will need money, not just money, more money to stand a chance. Because if you look, those who won the Civil War gave us the Constitution, gave us the political parties. Because if you understand the system we are playing, it is one spirit. So it's the same people who are still in charge. So if we ignore this obvious fact, then we are deceiving ourselves. Right? The idea that they're having 5 states, other people having 7 states, all these are the spirit of constitution. And the political system is based on that. So the Obi not finding a political party or not willing to form a party, know what he's doing. Because at the end of the day, the odd is against you. You are 2 points down. So there's a lot of obvious injustice in our political structure because that's what people don't understand. So the Civil War also was actually between the transformation of the parliamentary system, which is regional, which is where the Igbo man have his way. So the idea of crushing them under presidential system, that's the genius of America. Because the people of America never have a say from day one to today. The whole point of their republic is to guide the few elite from the poor. That is what democracy is all about. When they tell you, is the majority have the sway? Yes, the majority of the people that are allowed to participate. Majority don't participate in primaries, even if they do direct primary. We see that. So all these things are not happening because of their foolishness or stupidity. No. The system is working exactly how they want it. As I said, it is a product of war that we are operating on, both the system and the government. So it is pretty much impossible that what you are asking to happen just like that. So their money don't add up. That's why you are seeing the people like Obi. And for the fact that they are old enough to vie for power, whatever that you are seeing today is the consequences, unfortunately. Now, people, they sponsor all these things that you are seeing. That's why the conversation between us and Tunaja was hectic the other day, because he refused to see what is happening underneath all these things. The amount of people who have acquired enough or weight enough to vie for that number one seat. I said it, when the amount of elite is outnumber the position that is available, what do you expect? Everybody go to pull mouse, go to pull power. It is a system that we are practicing, unfortunately, but nobody everybody understand them. So asking those questions, why there's no this, is still part of weapon of defeat. You want travel? You go come here first. Now we'll go collect your money tire before you go travel. If you come back, we'll go see. So all these things. That's why my argument is that we should stop telling these people they are stupid, they are ignorant, they don't know anything. No, no, they are the smartest among us. That's why they are winning. We feel disagree all we want, but our life depends on their policy. That is a fact nobody can deny. All of us scatter around the world because of what? Because of our political policies.
Thank you. You see, that is thank you, Ovia. And I want to
implication of Simon Ekpa. As I said, the world have more interest than just it's beyond Nigeria at this point. This is I think it's, as I said, he's the first person to be charged with that kind of law. So it's a case study all over the world. Everybody will go. It can only happen 2 ways, especially the world is going through changes, right? Either this is the way it's going to continue. Anybody that raises his mouth for any part of the world will be shut down just like that. Or if you succeed,
Or
until the war come to peace again, law is set and they go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you. I like what you say, and you know, Ovie has brought a lot into the conversation. If we are following, you know, one of the things that brought into the conversation is the fact that he mentioned this earlier, but you know, we didn't follow up, which is that this is novel. This is the first time anybody around the world is being charged for what you said across the sovereignty of another country, and for it to be held to this so-called standard that they're trying to portray. So the question being,
AJ, sorry.
I'm coming to you.
Okay.
Just hold on. So the question being now, is it going to continue? That means if I'm here now and I say Tinubu Waka Shege Banker, then they can now hold me here and try me for causing the president, or are they going to, or is the Supreme Court of the Finland going to turn this, this thing that have been passed today? What do you think? And then that's also putting in mind what you wanted to say before. You can go ahead and answer. I welcome you forward. I see you, and I will bring you in. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, is it me?
No, you. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I first of all, I wanted to correct something that you said, because this is not the first time that a Nigerian is being sentenced abroad for whatever treasonable felony or planning an insurrection.
So via social media platform, because
yes, that there's the guy Okai.
Yes, because I wanted to say Henry Okai is in South Africa.
His account to which they use as evidence is still very much alive. It's still operating. That's another question mark.
But what I want to say is that, you see, let's not just limit this thing to the Southeast, because this issue of secession or people wanting to pull away from Nigeria didn't start from the Southeast. It didn't. In the Southeast, is just part, because if you look at it, Awolowo was sentenced to prison for treasonable felony. We are in the West. We have had Igboho. We have had Professor Akintoye. We have had even, a few years ago, an invasion of Oyo State by a group of people who were armed, and they say they are declaring secession. They don't want to belong to Nigeria. If you go to the Niger Delta, we have militancy. But even before that, you have Isaac Adakaburu. It was secession. Wanted to break away. You go to the middle belt, you also see a similar situation, and even see a coup where one of the coups that we had against Babangida during the Babangida era, somebody who said that he is splitting the country and divided the country. This people should go their way, this people should go their way, and so on and so forth. And then if you rewind and go back, the first threat of secession came from the north before independence, because someone, Enahoro, moved for independence in the late 50s. And then even after the first coup, which was essentially from what we hear from Uzogu, was to release Awolowo, not to put Major General Agui Ironsi as head of state, but to release Awolowo from prison and make him the head of state. So when we say these things, I think we need to put things in proper perspective, because all sections, every part of this country, for one reason or the other, have had cause to say we no longer believe in this nation. Even the present president, at some point when he was in the trenches, did say that he doesn't believe in Nigeria. So everybody has had a cause, or for whatever reason, personal or state or altruistic, whatever, to say that we don't want to belong to this country anymore. So it's not the Igbo, the Southeast person should know what I'm trying to say. This Southeast case is not new. It's not novel. But if you look at all the various cases that you've had, this appears to be a case where there has been a sustained and persistent persecution of the Igbos. And they are rubbing it into their eyes. You can go and do anything. you are nothing. You know, so that's why it's being persistent. And if we want to resolve these issues, we know the problems, and there's a way that these things can be resolved. So, but the system, thrives on it because they see it as a situation, as an opportunity to deal with these people who they feel that they're defeated people. That's why they're doing it, because any serious government would want to address this issue like they did in Niger Delta. They would like to deal with the issue as they're dealing with terrorism right now. They are rehabilitating people, bringing them back, putting them in here, giving them money and negotiating with them and so on and so forth. Why is that of the Southeast different? So we must ask ourselves the issues. There must be something about the Southeast, or in this case, this particular case, that is making government apprehensive. Are they afraid of the Igbos? Are they? And if they are, why should they be afraid of the Igbos? So these are the issues. So even though we have had all these cases all over and over, and even more in other places, for instance, in the Southwest than in the Southeast, why is that of the Southeast? Why is there so much hatred that you cannot run for political office and win, and they're quick to tell you that you don't belong? If you go to the military, you don't see your people there. You go to the police, you don't see your people there. You go to government offices, even the present structure, you look at those who are service chiefs, who are, in the various commissioners and so on and so forth. You just find a lopsided distribution of offices and privileges, even in terms of infrastructure.
Sorry, Tony, please, could you address, and then what do we do as Igbos? So that's the question I'm interested
So
in.
the first thing I'm saying, that the Igbos have a right to agitate. Straight away, they have a right. But the strategy is there are so many strategies you can use. Now, our politicians, our chiefs of Hanese, they have failed. That's why the youths are restive. They have failed. They are not pushing the issue. Apart from one or two people, they're not pushing the issue. So if you cannot...
Shouldn't we, the people, work harder at that? I mean, the ordinary Igbo people, right? Okay, you and I, right? Shouldn't we work harder to make it if like engineer that properly?
I agree. Even what we are discussing now is part of the process of trying to wake up to create awareness.
Sorry, the reason why I'm saying this,
you see, when you want to make your own progress, it's not just people allow you to speak. They allow you to speak. So allow them to also make their suggestion. If you want a comeback, you ask me. So because there are other people who are here, have not spoken. Allow him to make his point. He has been patient since. Allow him to make his point. You can always come back and say what you want to say, but let him make his point. Okay, we have time. We have one hour here. So please speak.
He asked me a valid question. I'm okay with the question that he asked. But let me just give it. One of the ways you can address this thing is political will. When Yar'Adua saw the problem in the Niger Delta and saw the approach that the governments before him have taken, he had the option to continue in that way, but he said no. We got to explore another option, and so he went for peace. It doesn't mean weakness. Now, what will the government lose, for instance, if the Attorney General, for instance, declares a nolli prosequi for a case that is very clear concerning Nnamdi Kanu? Because the Supreme Court had made declarations. Almost all the cases he has won. The man is innocent. Free him, give him bail. That you would see the effect. It's going to douse the tension, some of the tension that you have in the Southeast, because you want to address the problem. And then there will be no need for this militarization of the Southeast. There will be absolutely no need.
All right, thank you.
That's one point. Then two, the ills that there are things we know that are not right, that make the people feel sad and feel that they don't belong. That just mere political declaration and so on. A lot of it is just by someone who is in the head saying, no, this thing should not happen again. No, give them this. No, give them that. Give them that. Some of those things will help douse the tension that you have, and then we can move it from there. They can't be solved in one day, but you could take steps to show that you are genuinely interested in making peace. But when you have a policy that shows that you are discriminating against some people, some sections of the country, while some others benefit, then that's a problem.
All right.
That's a problem.
Thank you so much. And then for those who are asking, I'm coming to you, Revolution. When we started this program, we said that the court said that Simon Ekpa is not a lawyer, but his wife is. Consequently, in our introduction, we said that if his wife is a lawyer and he is not, maybe a paralegal, paralegal, what are paralegal? Those who learn how to write, help immigrants write their statements and all that, or their story or whatever it were. Those are paralegals. They are not really lawyers. So if you're a paralegal and you may have read law in Nigeria, but if you are not outside of Nigeria, you probably not be called a lawyer. You'll be called a paralegal because you have not gone through their legal system to learn their legal their school, their law school. So you cannot really refer to yourself as a lawyer. It's possible that he is a paralegal. It's possible. I don't know. But for the law, for the court, the judge, 3 judges to have said he lied on that issue, it means that they don't see him as qualified to practice law in Finland. That we made that, but we're not here to hide any facts. We laid out the facts right before we started. So if you want to know more of what we said, you could go back to the beginning of the broadcast to see it. Don't throw things into it and think that you're going to dissuade us, from whatever we're discussing. The truth is that there are thousands of people, if not millions, who follow Simon Ekpa. You like him, you don't like him. That is the reality on ground. That's the reality on ground. You're being, sarcastic or otherwise will not change it. And the other truth and fact on the ground is that it is not the end, it's just the beginning of this long stretched out journey. There's still the appeal court, there's still the Supreme Court of that land, and all these cases will go through it. So let's not begin to just condemn the guy. What we are trying to look at is whether, since he has been apprehended and put in detention, have the things going on in the Southeast stopped? Somebody said yes, has stopped because we're not been hearing it. No, the situation which was analyzed by one of our people that we hosted on this program is that the money that was hitherto made available by the Buhari government is no longer flowing. So those who have been paid to cause small trouble in the Southeast are no longer being paid, and because that funds are no longer flowing, they have now decided to change location. That's the truth of the matter. Their foot soldiers are not being paid any longer. And I have the video of Hope Uzodinma, the governor of Imo State, saying that these things are not caused by IPOB. Let's not begin to invent new story into it. Let's just deal with this issue. The issue we are dealing with is, this is the ruling that the court in Johannesburg, whatever court has given in Finland, which is the way forward, and how does it affect freedom fighters or freedoms or people who are agitating for independence of their nation or their tribe or their small groups around the world? How does this affect them? So we're not just narrowing down on Nigeria, we're narrowing down because the news is international. I'm talking from an international point of view. A lot of media houses around the world have echoed this, and the question they're asking is, can this thing now translate to the fact that once you are in any part of the world, you cannot comment on political issues in your country? And if you comment and your country views that as being insightful, can they take you to court in another country and get you jailed? This is the question that's facing all of us, gentlemen. And for those of us who feature on the international forum called Internet, it's also a question facing you and I. If you make a comment here, can the Minister of Information in Nigeria put you up, against the country where you live and saying that comment you made has caused hundreds of people to buy in where you are not, and consequently you should be prosecuted in that country? And would they now offer them free oil or free money or something to make sure that they put you in prison? This is more serious than we're thinking. So let's look at it from that point and stop narrowing down on just Simon Ekpa. All right. Having said that, I want to welcome back Revolution. I don't know, Mr. James, I see your hand. And I want to thank you, Mr. James, for being around. Mr. James, his environment, a lot of rain storm. We can even hear the storm. But he has been there. And I also want to thank the people of Gabon. The light has not gone off. I've been waiting for it to go off because in Nigeria, once it starts breeze and wind, the light will go off. But your own is being available. I want to thank you for being around.
It's Gambia, not Gabon.
Okay, Gambia. Sorry, my brother.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. I just want to ask a question so that we give Revolution the chance to talk.
Yes.
Is it possible for any ethnic group to win a presidential election in Nigeria unilaterally without getting the support of another ethnic group? Although there are some anyway, that's the question.
All right, thank you. That's a nice question. Is it possible for the Yoruba Hausa, Fulani, Ijo, or Robo, or Isekiri, or Chief Igala Jukum, Basange, Itolo Igede, or the people from Baja, or the Angas Nupe, or any of those people? What is one of my friends? The Chief, is it possible for the Angas, the Birom, is it possible for any of these groups, the Fulanis, the Batamas, is it possible for them to win election without the cooperation of other people? I'll leave it to you, Revolution, while you're making your own comment. Please remember to answer that question.
Well, anyway, greetings one more time. I don't think it's possible for anybody to win election with other people. That's my own straight answer, because we are one. Even the fact that we are trying to pretend and divide ourselves, or because we are not getting something, we think the solution is to divide Nigeria. Nigeria is one. You understand? In my own view. Despite the fact that the Igbos, where I belong, the people at the top, these so-called high-class people, they have a war among themselves. This is how I see it. They have a war among themselves, that because the Igbos, from that time, they decided to go on their way. Like somebody was saying, a defeated house, they will try to press you down. We beat you now, so we'll not ever rise again. That's the game these guys at the top are doing. But when you come to people like us, I always repeat, that grew in the street, we never have problem wherever you come from. And I still hold that opinion very strongly. I never have problem with a Bini friend or with a Yoruba friend we don't even know. All we know is how can we solve our daily problem. That's what we know. But those people at the top, even let me make this point. P2B, that they did not allow P2B to come into power when he won the election. It's not because he's an Igbo man. It's because it's not part of that system. That's what they call, what even Nigerians they call I forget they call those people. They say now their own Nigeria. P2B, they don't have a command of P2B. They don't say they know what
cabals.
The cabals. That is the reason, not because P2B is not an Igbo guy. They know that P2B has a different agenda, just like Sowore, just like Samuel Ekpa, just like Nandi Kanu. They know that when these guys come, they will change something organically. I know the problem. Sometimes I used to dream, so all this smart why they make. If you become president tomorrow, what will you do? I know what I will do. We all know what the problem of Nigeria is. My brother, they are telling me to go back to evening school. It's a good suggestion. I will do that just to please him, because he thinks I'm below his standard. You understand? Arrogancy has blinded him, that he thinks that what I say, I ramble. I don't go to the point. This is.
And I'm not using myself as an example.
Please, give me my time to talk. When you were abusing me, I didn't say a word. I was waiting for my time to reply you. So if you allow me to take my time,
you can abuse me if you like.
I don't abuse people. I don't fall into people's shoes. I don't know that. I'm so educated enough in my own level.
You see, you're educated. You see, you're educated. So what I'm talking about?
I'm not up to your class according to you. But what I'm trying to tell you,
which class?
Education. What you mean? Let me excuse me, Mr. Oti. I know you are fond of interrupting people unnecessarily.
Sometimes, not unnecessarily.
All the time. They've cautioned you here a few times, so It's not that I'm saying it. What I'm trying to tell you is that the problem of Nigeria is, okay, the Igbos, I like what KJ just said, right, this question. He mentioned other ethnic groups. So if the Igbos think it's only them that are crying, the other ethnic groups that they don't even mention their name at all. They don't even, Goodluck Jonathan came in by luck. If not, no South will ever come to become president of Nigeria. He came in by luck. Even this one, they are pulling his leg here and here just to confuse situation. They don't want to be there. So they prefer to use somebody who they can control. You understand? So for me to learn, because I don't like wasting time, those of you who are, some people will say, like my brother Tony, he said something, that what the freedom fighters are fighting, he doesn't have a problem with them, but the way they fight for it. That is what many people have a problem with. Even though himself, he said, the way they are fighting for it is what they don't like. They don't like violence. Let me tell you something. Somebody says, so where there is no peace, there's always a chance of violence, because you cannot fool all the people all the time. Somebody was telling me they want a Nigerian problem to be solved politically, for example, political process. But sometimes when I'm listening, they don't give me the next option. They say political. We have been to elections in this country, for crying out loud, many times. We will vote somebody in, those people at the top, they will truncate it and tell us that go to court. And then when tomorrow somebody like Shore stand up and tell us, let us do revolution, they are just allocating scores to people. They are just, you people will say Shore should grow up. Why could they talk so? But they told us to go and vote. We have voted. They refuse to give our vote to count. Look at the ones they just did the other time, by election, local government election. People sat at home. People are tired of being deceived. So when a freedom fighter rises up tomorrow to say, okay, since they don't want them in their normal way, let us raise arms to fight these people, because they get in there, they're not doing anything, they just destroy the country, they tell us go and protest while we are eating, we don't do any, we don't react. Then people tell you, let us protest. When I say no, this guy, no, Nigeria is the only country we have. That is my headache sometimes. Because there must be a solution. Not just coming here to talk. Now, if Samuel Ekpa has been in prison, whether some people like it or not, some people will come here, just talk. They say he deserves him right. If you are in the trenches, you must expect to go to prison. We all understand that. But what is who is winning? Is it the common people Samuel Ekpa is fighting for, or the people who left Nigeria? I know a lot of. I have one brother here. He says he's a professor. He's driving taxi. Sometimes when I see him, when we jam like this, he will be sleeping in his cab. You understand me? I can't say all the school. Sometimes I will remember. The man used to remind me of Odi. I will say, okay, look, I'm now. He learn all waiting. He learn. He come from Sweden. They drive taxi. They sleep. No customer. Then when Samuel Ekpa rise, say let us fight. When Shore rise, say let us fight. Una go they blame him.
All right.
AJ,
All right.
thank you for the time. I'm running again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Good
much.
night.
Look, Revolution, I like your contribution. Always come. We appreciate you here. Okay.
I will be coming, Mr. James. Thank you, sir.
Revolution, you and I have a fish
Revolution, you are putting my
Revolution,
uncle on blast.
you and I have a fish business.
All right. Yes, before we go on, I want to thank all of you for being here. I'm coming to Forefather. And I want to say also, please like this channel, share it. That's the only way. If you're not giving us money, at least share the channel so that other people can come. It's a place where we rub mind. We discuss topical issues that can change our nation if the government is listening. Sometimes we'll come here and put our views across, not because we are going to change Nigeria, but because we are hoping that those who are in position to listen and make a difference will take it and run with it. I'm planning to hold a program for only Abia people, and I will deal with certain issues that I think that if we apply in Abia, we can be our #1 state, just like we are Abia. So having said that, I now bring in Forefather, a man who has wealth of experience, both in and outside of Nigeria. somebody before you came, I want to give you a expo forefather. They say you're living in one of the abandoned houses in you and your family. So because of that, you may not be able to speak truth to this because people are benefiting from the abandoned property of the Igbos. I have given you that expo. I won't tell the person who said it, but you can go ahead and clear your father's name because I know you're not living in abandoned property. But if you are, let us know so we know that you're one of the enemies of the Igbo. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, KJ. Thank you for hosting and greetings to the panelists. It's true that I grew up in a property that was taken off an Igbo man in the.
Okay.
No, that's true. That's true in Port Harcourt. This is one of the reasons why I find some of the issues a little bit problematic. But I think the person was saying I'm living in an abandoned property in the UK, so good for him. But two things that stood out for me from the submission so far that I've heard, at least I came not long ago. I think the statement from Tony about the Southeast not being provided any form of amnesty or safe corridor, whatever you want to call it, that is quite interesting that it hasn't happened. Because the amnesty in the South, if I'm not mistaken, one of the champions of that amnesty was Onyema, isn't it, of Air Peace, and he hasn't done anything like that for the Southeast. I don't know why. Maybe because he feels like the IPOB people are not in any mood to be repentant. I don't know. Who knows why that is the case? It seems odd, though. There's also the issue of the lies that Samuel Ekpa has told, not only to Nigerians, to even the people in it wasn't Finland. Yeah, that's where he is now. So they got crossed with that one. He said he was a lawyer. He's not a lawyer, and boom, they took him. Maybe that one even pissed them off even more than the fact that they killed so many Nigerians, because it took a long time before they picked him up. But this is the problem now, isn't it? He's always been a con man, but people need somebody to tell them what they want to hear. This is one of the things why people like Socrates hated the democracy, or he called it populist people policies. And when people say things people like to hear, they just run towards that person, whether it's true or not. They don't care. And I've always seen him as a charlatan. The last time he was here, not 9 months ago, you will not believe it. He was actually here about 9 to 10 months ago. I even had to go back and check the video to confirm it. And he was here with I think he was wearing some kind of permed hair with foreign flags behind him, and with Jesus listed. I was like, how are people following this man with all those things? And the people he's championing in that image are people that decimated his own community in the past. They think it wasn't only Yoruba, or when the Oyibo came, they decimated everybody before they took over. And he was wearing, so I just didn't see him as a very, very serious person. And the fact, the idea that he is the first person, he's not the first person to have been convicted like this. There has been a lot of people. And one other thing that also stood out to me is the fact that they arrested him in 2024, I think November, and he's been convicted today. In Nigeria, they arrested him in 2021. They have not finished the case today. It just tells you the way Nigeria justice system works. That's why nothing works in that country. They can't even prosecute a simple case that they have clear cut evidence. They just sit on it and leave the guy, and they might use him for politics now, because if they see that P2B is a very popular guy and they don't know how to tame him, they go and leave him Nnamdi Kanu, because Nnamdi Kanu is not a big fan of P2B. He comes as cause chaos in the Southeast. That's another ammunition in Tinubu's pocket that he can use against the Southeast in the coming this election. So it's a very, very sad tale to be watching all these things unfold. And I don't blame people that say that some people are targeting Southeasterners in Nigeria. They are. And I'm not going to shake from saying that some Southeasterners don't help the case too. They too make things very easy for people to target them. And those ones, people like EKPA, they should go to the back seat. Bring people like P2B forward. That's what you want to do. Don't bring people that just want to cause trouble all the time forward. Put them backward. Thank goodness, at least he's out of the way now. Hopefully, he's not going to come and start threatening people. During that time when the election was about to be held, he came on. He said nobody should vote for P2B. He was threatening to kill people. They should prevent people from going for an election. He was causing a lot of trouble, man. The guy was problematic, even for P2B, because whenever he shows up, he reminds people of that, and he affects P2B's popularity. And they know what they are doing. They know what they are doing is going to affect P2B, and they did it anyway. They all knew it, and I wonder why would you do something like that? Why would you just do stuff just because you hate Nigeria so much? You don't care how the people living on the ground right now are going to survive. I don't understand them. Personally, I just think that those people are agents of chaos. Maybe they are even working for foreigners, for all I know. We don't even know what drives these people. How can he truly believe in Igbo people and he's wearing all those foreign emblems? How can he truly believe in his ancestors and the pains of the Igbo people and he's wearing that many foreign ancestors? He can't even keep his hair his own. He will have to go and permit. I don't know. I don't understand it. I really don't understand how people follow these other people, but I will leave it there. I just feel like there are injustices against Igbo people in Nigeria. It's happening clearly because that case that Tony mentioned, that there have not been any amnesty in the southeast. I don't know what Oyeba is doing. Maybe we should ask Oyeba. Has he consulted politicians to try to reach some kind of arrangement? He hasn't come up with anything. And there is also the targeting of Southeasterners in elections. Even when the election is not here, they're already targeting Southeasterners. I was here on the platform when they were targeting Southeasterners. The other day, I asked a question about this, and people were telling me, "Oh, don't talk about it. You are the one inflaming the whole issue." So I will be on the platform again the next election. Then I'll start talking about, "Oh, they are attacking the Igbo people in Lagos again." You think I want to do that again? I don't want to do that again. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. I think I've gone on too long. I can rant for 1 hour about this.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, I'll go to Ovie straight on. You've heard what forefathers said. I don't know where to even, because a lot of things forefathers said that probably doesn't sound too right to me, because Buhari was selected by Boko Haram to negotiate on their behalf, and Buhari totally supports, because he said an attack on Boko Haram's attack on the north, and we didn't hold him to. How come be it that every time we hold an Igbo man account for what others are doing, especially in such a situation? What's the difference when a northerner makes a statement like that? El-Rufai said if anybody comes to monitor election, they'll go back in body bags. They didn't see that as anything, but if it's an Igbo man, that would have been a national crisis. So what makes a difference when it's said by somebody else and then the Igbos repeat it? By the way, the guy who contested Garba Buhari, is it Garba Buhari or something? What's his? I've forgotten his first name. Who said that one man's I want to quote him properly. One man's Boko Haram is another man's freedom fighter. One man terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. In other words, referring to Boko Haram as being the northern people's freedom fighter. That didn't land him in jail. That did not get him to be one who's incites problem. But if that statement was made by a southerner, an Igbo man, he would have put that person in jail. Why is it that different measure for different people is still being practiced even to tomorrow in Nigeria?
That's the definition of power. Nobody who carry gun, nobody who carry gun be power. Now who tell me carry gun and power. So that's when Tunaja was talking about peace. It as an amnesty. So I wanted to ask, what capacity is he operating on? So whatever place you in there and a person put on there, that's all what power is all about. When your people are in possession of power, there are a lot of things you can get away with. That's what America represents. America can afford to do whatever they want because they can afford to do it. We will challenge them. So in the Nigerian context, let's forget the the influence from outside. In the Nigerian context, it's still there that we are still fighting ourselves. You understand? Just because it's not violent yet doesn't mean it's not. But within themselves, at that level, it's a matter of life and death. So the fact that yes, I think the man could do anything. So now that's what power. That is your point of power. There's nothing there. Be in control. Be in control means you can get away with pretty much everything. It depends on where we are talking about. So in the Nigerian context, that's why. So just think about it. If to say any other tribe, any other minor tribe, I put the Igbo tools among them because they don't get power. They don't get power means they don't get power. So we did the same. We did the same level. But if to say that any of us now they doing trade off cow rearing, and it's foreign to those who in power now. You say we go for the car enter middle of the streets and get away with it. Maybe we'll go try it once, but the response to that trying, they will make an example out of it. That's the whole point. That's where the Igbo man. So the Biafra contest, right? I think another thing people are not saying today, the fact that the conversation of Biafra is a national conversation. What do you think those millions who lost their life during that time, like they always they believe, say, dead body go return for grave. They will be happy. That the spirit, the idea that they die for. Look at how you see either they are ignorant or they are stupid. Hey, we are talking about billions here. So no matter how one individual it is, it doesn't really matter. So you understand, there are things that are out there that you just can't push away. So that is for the fact that 50 years, 60 years after it happened, it's still a national conversation. It means a lot of things. It means that the nation is not a nation. That's what it's about. Because we are not discussing it from history perspective to say, okay, we have overcome these things. This is where we are today. That's not what we are talking about. We are still talking about the things that led to how we get to where we are today. Those who they ask are who gave us constitution. Those that won. The Nigerian state won. They fought against another nation state. That's at that point. Or you call them a state actor. But there was people who fought. So they won. So okay. People to ask who gave the constitution, who did this? Those are the people that gave. And they are still in charge. So that's why
hold on. Let's move the conversation forward. What do you think? There are 4 people who were freed, and those 4 people were freed because they couldn't tie them into this charge. Now, the question I'm putting to you now is, what will be the effect of this sentencing as to the funding of freedom fighting or freedom struggle in Nigeria? How will it affect those who are either sponsoring or who are either putting their money into this struggle? Will it cause them to continue, or will it be would there be a backlash on those who are either to helping to propagate?
Sorry, those 4 people, me and you know them because they no get followers, they no get power, they no get influence, they are not as influenced as EKPA. So EKPA is an interesting, national or pretty much international conversation right now. So the first thing they know, poor those people, they will know they are not significant, so they are not the important into the story as it develops. The other question that you asked is, sorry.
Yes, how will it now affect funding?
Yes, it's not going to stop. If quote unquote, if 3 million people die, and we are still having the 2 people where they are alive, still having the conversation. It's like you saying that the 4 people today in the room that manifest to 6 million are fluke, right? So if 3 million people die according to record, that did not shut the conversation. There's nothing can stop it. Yes, if it just go down a little bit, but you will metamorphose from any other form, right? They cannot come when internet be only YouTube and Facebook and a few of them, and they catch them, which is say nothing. Before you know, you go Twitter, you go TikTok, which is the latest technology after those one, and somebody else came. So human as we evolve, as technology evolve, so all these things, unless we actually sit down, I mean, those in charge sit down and actually say, I was talking about, I think with Tuna Jabi yesterday, say, come, our future hang on two things. It's either these men who are at the corridors of power now actually sit down and look at what is happening and say, come, this will consume us all. And they decided to carry out the revolution among themselves. So it does happen, right? In order for you to avoid the civil war, you carry out the revolution among themselves. If now wealth disparity, you distribute the wealth, you have to do something. Or few people among them who are going who are disgruntled among them, because all this thing are money they sponsor all these people. Now those people will get money. So there are few people who are disgruntled with the system. What all these things they will result to? They will keep fueling all these things. So until they either do something within themselves, or few people will mobilize. Like those few people, you don't need every stupid people on the street now. That's why the people where they talk say education. You need the foolish people to carry out the revolution. Now the foolish people go die fast. So you need them anywhere. You need them. So they have a role. Just because you don't see their importance, it's because you're not on the front. You need those people.
All right.
So everybody at this point, every distraction is needed, right? Either to push the elite to sit down and say, "Hey, this will happen again," or we all wait. If we survive anything, we go anywhere we continue. We not. That's how our Nigerian story ends. But the story will continue. So the agitation will slow down, maybe, but it's definitely not the end. We'll come out another way. We'll never ever see woman leader yet. We'll never ever see priest leader. To Nigeria, we talk about how the man they dress, how he appear. People they follow Pope where they wear cap. If I wear that same cap, come your house where you get grown up daughter for house. You know, don't you see me as one any somehow? But millions they follow up. So every leader have his own way of disguising himself. If he works for them, fine. Yes, there are people who are following because of that. It's needed. If to say that one doesn't subscribe by a girl like me and you, if you know they listen to
all right.
So
Thank
the
you.
followership is also important, regardless of how you attract them, whether propaganda, whether you're dressing, whether you're whatever. It is the cause that is important.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm going to you, OT. Oh no, let me go to because OT, you are not one who likes.
I think I've spoken enough for today. I'm not.
Okay. You have okay, no problem.
Yes,
we still have enough questions. So
I don't think I have anything more. Unless you ask me a question, I don't have anything more to ask.
All right. I'm asking a question to Tony. Tony, I have a question here. What will this ruling mean, or how will it affect the current support for IPOB vis-a-vis the case? And I thank Florence O for even framing part of the question I'm asking now. Vis-a-vis the outcome or the current case facing Nnamdi Kanu. Do they have any correlation in the first place? And can it affect, in which way can it affect the outcome of that the current case in Nigeria?
Well, I can only speculate. But one thing I know is that the current government is going to be pleased with that with the court ruling with respect to Samuel Ekpa, to the extent that at least it will put him out of action and probably not be able to stir up more problems in the southeast. So it will be expected from that position that unless someone else, takes over, it's likely, quote and unquote, that there may be some moderation of the problem that you have in the Southeast associated with Samuel Ekpa. But for me, I don't think, not being a fan of Ekpa, I think that, if you ask me, I think it's proper to silence him. That's my view. And I make bold to say that. Because like I said, I don't endorse his strategy. I don't. And I will never endorse it. For instance, I don't see any reason why every Monday the Southeast, there will be no business in the Southeast. I don't see any reason why. I don't see who gains from it. I don't see how it benefits the Southeast. There's a lot of money. I mean, there's a lot of businesses that would have gone on. There are a lot of, I have a niece who lost the husband, and the son is in the East serving. And he couldn't immediately come when the father was sick, to leave on Monday when his father was sick, because it could be dangerous. So the mother, the bereaved mother said, don't come on Monday. You wait until Tuesday. There could be some more serious cases on Monday. Somebody seriously ill. And then in most places, I understand, in some places, I went to the East. I know that when I went in November, December, in Umuahia, I was in Umuahia, and you could move around even on Monday. So I know that some places in the East, I mean, this thing doesn't hold. But there is general fear that if you have to transverse town to town or state to state, you might just get into trouble. Assuming you have a serious situation on a Monday, you can't do anything. So the people that you want to protect, the people that you say you are fighting for, your policy, whatever instruction, whoever gave that instruction, and they point to Samuel Lekpa, it's negatively affecting them, it's affecting their life, it's affecting their business. I don't think that's a way to fight the current problem. I don't think so. So I fault it.
So I ask you a question, Mr. Tony.
Yes.
You, in a nation where 200 people are died in a day and the nation goes forward, will you blame a young man from that nationality or that tribe that rises up tomorrow to take up whatever way to defend that community? Will you blame the person?
I blame him. He has no reason to stop me from moving freely in my country.
Absolutely
no reason.
You have not answered my question. If in a community, let's look, Yewata, 200 people went to bed. They didn't have any enemies. But by the time they woke up in the morning, they woke up in heaven or hell, as the case may be. For no reason. They didn't take anybody's arm. They didn't kill anybody. They didn't do anything to anybody. But people invaded their community at night. And didn't only buy them, even their little children who were 3 years old, 2 years old, 1 year old were massacred. Will you blame a young man whose family was cleared in one night? Will you blame him tomorrow if he decides to be a freedom fighter?
You see, that is why I went about citing the fact that you have these splinters of groups all over the country asking for secession or asking to break away, or that is not peculiar to the Southeast. I did make that point. And it's clear.
Sorry,
that
Tony, it started by your friend, though. Now your friend started it at home. Who was it?
the nation
on a
is...
serious note, it was one that started it. Not
Who is my friend?
Who was it? Okay.
Was Ricky?
Fine.
Yeah.
So you call him my friend, okay?
No, because you use it like no. I was just you used it as an example earlier on.
Yes. The point is that the nation is not run the way it should be. So you find these pockets of people disgruntled, ethnic groups, disgruntled because of policies that emasculate the people all over, across the board. So that's why you have all this, and it tells you that this nation is not working well. How can I blame anybody? My father was killed. My town was totally decimated. I have a right to take up arms against Nigeria and kill anybody. Yes, but I didn't choose that path. So it's up to who wants to take whatever decision. I wouldn't endorse that path. That's what I'm saying. But does the person have a right to be angry? Does he have a right to feel bitter? Yes, of course he has a right to feel bitter. But we can't bring down the roof. We can't. My point is that if you take revolution, because a revolution came, was here and it was saying, if you start a revolution, you don't know how it's going to end. It's like throwing a stone in a market. You can't control it. You can start the process, but the end result you never tell. And the end result can be good, it can be bad. But what we are looking for, is a solution that is going to take us out from this mess that we are in, not the one that will worsen it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. James. Will you want to add to that, or should I ask a different question? But I have a lot of questions here.
You can ask questions. Never mind.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. James, for also being. Could the conviction of Mr. Simon Ekpa increase or reduce the recruitment to, will it increase or will it reduce sympathizers? I mean, will people be drawn to sympathize with him for a big nation being unfair to him, or will it reduce? And then those who are celebrating go deported after they finish this thing. Please, he's not going to be deported. He's not Nigerian citizen. He has removed himself from Nigerian citizenship for long.
Yeah, you see, I remember those days, I can't remember the year, when, what's his name? Ken Saro-Wiwa was hanged during Abacha's regime. A Benin man in Israel asked me, what will be the effect of the hanging of this man? What will be the consequence? Then I told him quite frankly that nothing will happen. It will only lead to the general apathy in the Niger Delta. The war will not come to an end. Simon Ekpa has been jailed. Fine, he's in prison. He will come out. If he will change his opinion while there or not, I do not know. It is based on, I do not know how strong his conviction is. If they squeeze him the way they are squeezing him now, what he will turn to be. I do not know if it will lead to, you see, there are too many variables. What I'm interested in is solution to this problem. I prefer the solution which seemed not to have gone down well with a number of people. I asked a question not long ago. Is it possible for an ethnic group to win a presidential election in Nigeria without the support of other ethnic groups? You know, when I talk of ethnic group this time, I mean the majority ethnic groups, like a Yoruba man winning election, not the type of Obasanjo won after the Nadeko Wahala. That was a special arrangement between him and Olufalaye. It's a special case. Is it possible? If the answer is no, then I think the Igbos should look for a way to get very close to a particular ethnic group, either the Yorubas. I know it's very difficult for the Hausas, or they can, among the Northerners.
Let me ask a question.
Oh.
No, let him finish now. Let him finish. Go ahead, James.
Go ahead. Ask your question.
Yeah, James, I wanted to comment on that. I just forgot. But I don't think we have ever had a situation where we have the kind of picture that you're painting, that one ethnic group. No, there's no political party that is made up of just one ethnic group. It has never happened in Nigerian history.
What I said
so when you make that an analogy, it's not acceptable to me.
Excuse me, it's not acceptable to you, that's fine. When I talk of ethnic group, what I said earlier on is this: the majority ethnic groups. Now, remember, during the First Republic, NCNC and ACP had cause to form a coalition government. Buhari had cause to rely on Bola Tinubu to win his presidency. Bola Tinubu also relied on him to win his presidency. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but so remove the word ethnic, because NCNC is not ethnic.
Oh, no.
Like, you guys are, just allow it to finish. When it is your turn, you use them. You know,
all right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hold on, Mr. Osofia. Mr. Osofia is here. And Mr. Osofia is going to come in from a different angle. But I want to say this. You guys have confused my thoughts. All right. Welcome, Mr. Osofia. You have followed our discussion. What do you say?
Yes, thank you. The last speaker, first of all, Tinubu didn't win the election, so let's put that by the side. So there is a way Igbo people can work together with another ethnic group. That ethnic group is Hausas. Igbos and Hausa, not Fulani. I mean Hausa, indigenous Hausas, who are indigenous Nigerians. Igbo
Hello, Chim.
people and the Hausas been
Yes, sir.
friends in many years when they were
AJ,
trading
mute
together.
yourself. AJ, mute yourself.
Somebody's talking.
AJ, mute yourself.
Getting away with some lies or inaccuracies.
AJ.
There are plenty.
Nobody has in 1979. Let me tell you, this is the first time Yorubas are in the mainstream politics.
Yes, they've always been.
Mute himself.
They've always been the opposition in Nigeria.
Yeah. If somebody,
this is the first time Yorubas are in mainstream fully as a group.
Dr. Knowledge, you need to mute the person.
Just wait, let them finish.
And the Hausas.
I can't even hear what he's saying.
Yes.
He didn't let me finish my point.
And even PDP was founded by Alex Ekweme, was a main convener. I know that. I just didn't want to bother myself to go through that direction.
So, moderator, you need to put him on hold. You need to mute him. And that's very rude for him to jump into my conversation. I'm making my point, so that's very rude for him to do that. He shouldn't behave like that. First of all, Igbo people and the Hausa people, indigenous Hausa people, they've been friends for centuries when they were trading together in Katsina Allah. So they've been friends until Fulani invaded the Hausa people and they conquered them. And so that was, so I think at this time, Igbo people can reignite that relationship. Because right now there's no Hausa person that is in government. You can say this Hausa person is in government. We don't really have a Hausa person in government. All we have Fulani people all over the place. So if that relationship, because Hausas are more in population than Fulani in the north. So if that relationship can be like, let's say, I'm giving an example. I'm not saying Peter Obi will get anything, but assuming Peter Obi got a ticket of one of the parties, and Peter Obi chooses Hausa, indigenous Hausa person, then I'm thinking that will be a winning ticket because all Hausa, including Dangote, who is a Hausa person, he's not Fulani, he's a Hausa, including Dangote, including Dan Tata family, who are also Hausas. These are indigenous people. Dangote is indigenous Nigerian, not Fulani. So if Igbo people can, let's say Igbo people can walk that way through Hausa indigenous people who has a population in Nigeria, I'm thinking that they can get somewhere because. And also, there are some Yoruba people actually really want to work with Igbo people. There are some Yoruba people. I know that one. So if we get Igbo presidential candidate and the Hausa vice presidential candidate, real Hausa, not Fulani, real Hausa vice presidential candidate, I think that with that combination, Hausa, Igbo Hausa, and some Yoruba people, because I know the Yoruba people that still believe that Nigeria can work with the tripod of Nigeria, Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. So I think we can get somewhere, and I think Igbo people can really have that presidency.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I while you are speaking, Mr. Chim called me, and I like what he said.
Don't worry, we hear everything. We hear everything when we talk. No worry.
Okay. I'm sorry if you heard. Yeah, I just sometimes when you're moderating, you have a lot of information. Sometimes you don't want to put it across, just to allow the conversation to flow. But if you notice that Igbos have always been in the mainstream. They have always been in the mainstream. It was even the Yoruba that are playing on the ferry, right from the beginning. But that's not the topic for today, so let's not even digress. I want to welcome.
Can I correct something? the constitution, the constitution does not. The constitution does not allow political parties to be formed on the basis of ethnicity. Yes. So you can't have that kind of thing. And that's why I said every political party that you have had in Nigeria, has had a mixture of everybody across board. You might have one that seems to be more of a particular ethnic group, like Chim was saying, if you look at the action group at the time, strictly Omo Oduduwa, Egba, it's because he evolved from Egba Omo Oduduwa, but he still had in itself. I mean, Awolowo was vice president. Was Umade. Was Philip Umade.
Let's wait for your turn now. Everybody know they agree.
Yeah, so I don't think there is a particular political party that's maybe AG and ABGA more like ethnic party, but there are parties like PDP, the one that is running now, APC. They are not ethnic party. There are people that different every ethnicity
Thank you.
are part of that party. I just want to clear that to you.
Yeah, let's
what I'm talking about is that when a party, any party like APC, PDP, or the new one they're trying to put together now, the ADC, they come back together and they have Igbo presidential candidate and the Hausa vice presidential candidate. And I believe that these two groups plus Yoruba group, I think they can get somewhere.
We're not discussing the formation. We're just trying to deal with
Dr. I didn't say anything about Simon Ekpa, because this show is about Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa, I've had the opportunity to have a Zoom meeting with Simon Ekpa in the past. And I had the opportunity to have a Zoom meeting with Simon Ekpa in the past. And I realized that, Simon Ekpa actually wasn't really into bringing one Nigeria. Not what some people some people can pick whatever they want to define as one Nigeria. It wasn't really there for one Nigeria, like the way we always, when we are younger, we always think about Nigeria, and we do the Children's Day, Independence Day. Everyone is thinking about one Nigeria. So the Samuel Ekpa was more like an opportunist that's looking for opportunities to make money. And then he found out in the Biafra project, many of them used the Biafra project to make money. Unfortunately, people misunderstood them. That these are the people that here to make money, and because the Biafran project, a lot of people are very emotional when it comes to Biafra. So they're very, very emotional. And even adults that had experience of the war, and individuals that are well-educated individuals, they feel this. You can easily convince them. When you talk about Biafra, they become emotional, and they can do anything. They can give you money. They can do everything without even thinking, until they realize that they're being taken. So Simon Ekpa is in that group of people that took advantage of our pains, our struggles, to make money. And I'm very happy that the government of Finland saw through this, and did what they did. I think 6 years is very small. They should have had more years, because if you go to the eastern Nigeria, you will see the damage, the destruction, the words of Simon Ekpa did there. My village, nobody lives there anymore. People were sacked from their own central house, central land, central homeland. They were sacked. They go to them and say, you have to leave today. If you see you tomorrow, you are dead. The entire village, people left. It was empty. This is not Fulani coming to kill us. This is not Hausa coming to kill us. This is not Yoruba coming to kill us. These are the Igbo people that Simon Ekpa and his gangs were able to convince and let them tell them that you are fighting for Biafra, which was not true. These became criminals, and they're killing people, burning people, raping, killing everything, destroying properties, destroying houses, burning everything they could get their hands into. And this is what we have suffered because of the words that came out of Simon Ekpa. And
All right,
6
thank you.
years in
I
prison
need to
is
stop.
actually not
I
good.
need to stop
Not
you
it's
right
too
now.
small for
Thank
what he has
you.
done to
Thank
so
you.
many people. I can't even go to my village right
Thank
now,
you.
which is very
Thank you, sir.
shameful.
Thank you. I think we gave you more time than
I'm sorry about that.
Hold on.
I'm sorry that
Oh,
I
hold
just
on.
wanted
Hold on.
to put it
Hold
out there
on.
so
Hold
the
on,
world
guys.
can hear this.
No,
Hold
thank
on. Hold on. Hold on. Thank you. Now, is it much as some of what you said is not totally the we've had guests. This program didn't start today. We've had guests here who have operated in the southeast and are still operating in the southeast. I will have what they've said. I have much more than enough videos from people who have been operating in the armed struggle in the southeast, who are not government officials, but they are persons of interest doing all kinds of stuff in the southeast. So I will not accept the fact that it's only Simon Ekpa or whoever he is using his proxies in the southeast that are doing the damage in the southeast. There are many factors in the line, but that's not the purpose of today. Maybe before this week run out, we'll come back to that issue and examine what is actually happening in the southeast, and if we're able to get Professor Chidi Odinkano, we'll bring him back in. Yes, let me go to the guy who just came in now. Is and
KJ, sorry, KJ, a moment. KJ, sorry, KJ, can I just
Yeah.
sorry. Are you KJ? Sorry, excuse me. Are you saying Osofe here doesn't know what he's talking about? He was referring to his village. You didn't even ask
Yes,
him
I
what
am
his
talking
village
from
is.
experience, and you're
So,
saying that I don't know what
I
I'm
don't know
talking
what basis
about.
you're trying to.
Listen.
I just came back from Nigeria. I just came back from that village last 2 weeks.
Listen
And I
to
came
what I'm
back. I
saying.
couldn't enter my village because my village, was littered with they buried bombs all over the place. Market
Okay, but
women
here,
are being killed by bombs. So they step on the bombs. So I just want you to know that what we are saying is not necessarily Simon Ekpa alone. We know that the Nigerian government and Nigerian armed forces also caused some of the issues that's exposed these people, these kids, to somebody like Simon Ekpa to take advantage of them because
all
of
right.
the python dances, all the
as far
pattern
here,
dances, crocodile
let's go
smiles,
like,
all of that
that's
also
enough.
expose this kid. I understand that. But
Yeah, that's
but
enough.
people like Simon Ekpa
let's hear
took
from
us,
Chukwu, please.
Let others have their way, man. That's enough. That's not how to
no,
be.
you can't stop.
Everybody says something. You're not the only one.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
My fellow Nigerians and my fellow brothers, this is my first time joining this program. I've always wanted.
Welcome, sir. We celebrate you. Thank you so much for joining us. Please always join us. We're always here to hear your views.
All right. Now I think I have to prove, but I would like to do it in a timely manner so that everybody will have one or two things to say. First of all, I think the caption time on it, but glad that guy failed. I wish they had given him 20 years so that he won't come out again. By the time he comes out, perhaps Alibo will be better, because I do not understand how somebody who wants to improve Igbo land will instigate the destruction of the homeland where he comes from. It makes no sense. And anybody in our support to that, anybody who is supporting that mentality, to be honest with you, I don't see how that person should be called an Igbo person. I leave Nigeria in this. The problem we have in Igbo land is us, and I mean us. Both those at home and those of us outside Nigeria. We are the problem. If we want to solve the problem in Igbo land, we will solve it by ourselves. The destruction going on in our homeland makes no sense whatsoever. Absolutely none. Now, there are gullible Igbos, no doubt about that, especially those who don't have anything to do. And I'm going to say this, that anybody who is agitating for Biafra, to me, means that that person is not doing very well by himself. Then he wants to rub it on every other person. The Biafra struggle, for Christ's sake, to me, is a thing that at this stage and time, we should be talking about the development of Igbo land. Nigeria is not enough for the Igbo man. Africa is not enough for the Igbo man. So we can't be talking about Biafra for now. Let the Eastern go. Let all the strength that we have as Igbo people, let us use it to mount pressure on these clowns who are our political leaders back home. Develop Igbo land. We will use all the resources that they are messing around, mount pressure on them. This effort and time we're spending on agitating for Biafra, we should use that to make these politicians wake up and do. This is our resources. They're using our resources. The money they are spending, you and I are here funding them. There's none of you here who is living abroad here that is not sending money at home. The salaries they are not paying, you and I are here paying for it. Do we read that way? The school fees we send money here to pay are the money these people who are working, our brothers and our sisters and our friends, could have earned money to pay their children's school fees as we are paying ours here. But we need to understand and wake up to this reality. Anybody, especially those of us who live abroad, who are talking about Biafra, to me, that person, in the first place, the person is not educated. It's not. So please, Simon Ekpa deserves 20 years in prison.
Okay.
On the other thing about Nigeria, I'll say other things I want to say about Nigeria, but at least I want to just add this out. They won't.
All right, I'll give Ovie. You have something to say before we start to round up. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, we will see if we can have a broadcast tomorrow to continue on this Simon Ekpa and the way, what will be the resultant effects in the coming days. Mr. Pablo, please go ahead.
Yeah, on he's gone now. The man that spoke about ethnicity was trying to justify that no ethnicity is forming political party. That's a fact. But another fact also is that political parties are private entity, a private business. So if politics is determined by who has more money, what do you say to that? So those who have the money, who have the resources available, control the political parties. That's what it means. Political are structured in that way for a reason. So collectively, it's not about individual money. Anybody will be president for a country, you know how much everybody gets. Doesn't matter who you is. Once you're interested, they want to know how much you earn, how much you have, they will know. So when those way they fight for power, it's beyond just make I go serve. No, there's so much to what power is all about, the advantage that power will give you once you're in power. So it's part of those things. So nobody say political party that they run under ethnicity. No, it's beyond that. It's about money and power. Because that's what the whole base of setting up a political party is, to get power and oppose and defend bills. That is your primary goal of a political party. So it shall always be that. So those who set it up like that know exactly what they are doing. Now, and people are talking about other ethnicity are not. It's about numbers. If to say my people plenty, rich Igbo people are about 30, 40 million people. Do you think we'll sit down and just be watching things happening to us? No. But we know plenty. If you do anyhow, they will just say one person, come finish everybody. That is the fear. So the courage that you are thinking that the Igbo people are facing now because of their numbers, right? So just they are like 100, maybe let's say 100,000 people that had the opinion of Oti in Igbo land. There are other 100,000 people that have the opinion of Kejiland. But you cannot say it like that to every other tribe. So that is where the competition is. And the idea is, yes, so now outside of Fulani, we are deceiving ourselves. We are using now politics with the player. Politically speaking, now Fulani. If you accept alone is under not, you have to accept it's a reality that is facing us, point blank. So that's because we are seeing it from the surface. It should go beyond the headlines and that you understand they come. This is a life and death. A life and death. So it's beyond just one person. When you have millions of people, of course you're about to see different kind of idea on how to be free. But ability for you to bring every idea on the table, and because you need everybody, like not be everybody goes by number. Every opinion it matters.
Sorry, but not foolish ideas.
No, hold on, Oti, your turn will come. Hold on.
That opinion, whether stand in your way or stand will hate you.
All right.
Either way, you have to work with it. If that opinion stand against your way, you also have to work with him to get it out of the way. If it's with you, have to work. So
Thank you, Ovie. Thank you. Hold on, Ovie. Hold on, Oti. Hold on. Yeah, I'm coming to you. And I just want to say that we have actually been on this topic for the past 3 hours, and we're now taking our last lap for this. And I'm going to give you the very first time. Yeah, you have 2 minutes to tell us exactly and round up your thoughts. So that
I'm not going to use up to 2 minutes, but I'm quite
happy. Okay. Go ahead, sir. You have the floor.
Because we talk, we communicate to learn. Okay, that's for me. That's the if I'm not learning something by engaging in conversation, it's a waste of my time. So we come here every day, and at least this topic, this issue we discussed tonight. Well, I don't know. I'll have to ask Vie whether he's learned anything. I, for one, at least the views I've expressed, I think I quite right to say that the preponderance of opinion, are in line with mine, right? So because first of all, this idea of freedom fighting, we have to be clear about what we're talking about. So who are the freedom fighters, and whose freedom are they fighting for? So they may be passionate, but when they are going the wrong path, we can be supporting them. We have to call them to order. We have to stop them. It's madness, right? So we have problems, right? We have to organize ourselves in Nigeria. We're not leaving Nigeria for anybody.
Never.
So we can do a lot better. So it's a matter of organization. We have to use our head. It's not, all this noise making, all this bravado is not going to take us anywhere. So it's a misadventure. It's silliness. I don't see how anybody should pay serious attention to Simon Ekpa. It's a joke. I said it. I mean, you can see these men here have also agreed with me. Those on the comment section, if they think they know what they're talking about, let them come up and debate. Okay, it's not sitting on the sidelines and making silly comments. I don't have time for them. Let them come up and then tell us, make the argument. That's what I'm saying.
And I worry. Okay, so if
hold on, sir. Hold on. We are around now. You hold your fire. Okay, let me go to Sophia. Sophia, can you round up? You have 2 minutes, sir. Yeah, Sophia, can you hear me? Unmute yourself.
Hello?
Can you round up 2 minutes?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Can you go ahead and round up your thoughts in 2 minutes?
Okay, so what we're saying is that we know that Simon Ekpa have been, imprisoned for 6 years. He already served 1 year, so he has 5 years, and going by Finland justice system, he will only serve like 3 years. So that is done. All I'm asking is that the Nigerian government, with the mighty military they have, they should do whatever it takes to protect its citizens. These criminals in my hometown, in my local government, blocked federal highway for 4 years. Nobody passes through it. From Olu to Ihala, that's a federal highway. They blocked it and they killed more than 400 people on that highway. Not one day that Nigerian government took the soldiers or the military to that place. These are little boys, young little boys that are less than 25 years old. They blocked the federal highway and nobody can go through there. They were killing people. More than 400 people were killed there. Nothing happened. Nigerian government couldn't overpower little boys with some AK-47. Personally, I suspect that Nigerian government is also complicit in what they are doing. So that's what I have to put on this, because the shameful thing that the almighty Nigeria will allow some little boys block a federal highway, federal government highway. They blocked it for 4 years. Nothing happened. Military never went there to fight them, and they blocked it, and they killed more than 400 people. If you go there, you will see bones and skulls of so many people that they killed there. So nothing happened. So I just want to bring this to the attention of the whole world and Nigerians to see what Nigerian government, they are complacent to what is happening in Imo State and that area.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, thank you so much for being. Yes, sir. My brother, go ahead. Your turn now. No, unmute yourself. I can't unmute you.
Okay. All right. It's really hurting me, making this comment right now, because and hearing what my brother is saying. Incident will happen to be I'm from Imo State, so I understand what you're talking about, and that's why it's hurting. Now, I think the solution is primarily local. We need to reorganize ourselves. We need to reorganize as Ndibo. Somebody from my village, like from your village, I understand the Olu, challenge. It is a local solution that we need to start applying, because every of these people, every community knows those who are bad and those who are good. We need to purge ourselves from local and begin to hold the leaders accountable. There are ways we can do this, and I think that's what we need to brainstorm. Maybe not on social media, not in the public space like this, but we can brainstorm and get this thing neat in the board. Every one of us come from a community. One thing that is sacred in Igbo land is to kill somebody, is to spill blood. It's an abomination. So
yes,
we can't normalize these deviant behaviors in 2025. No, we cannot. It's not us. It's not our culture. It's not our tradition. It's not something we can condone.
Yes.
Now, these are a bunch of rascals who don't want to be useful to themselves. You and I cannot run away from our villages because of them. No. No. It's not possible. So we really need to do something about it. And there are solutions. I believe every problem has solutions. So we need to apply the solutions to it. It is possible and we can do it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your coming in. Please do come again. I would prefer that you like and subscribe, so that once we come on air, you'll be able to get notifications sent to you. And that goes to every one of us who have not subscribed. The subscription is free. You don't have to pay anything. Just subscribe so that the algorithm our broadcast you whenever we're here. Here on Friday with Ogendibo or something like that. Yeah, we're also here on Saturday by 1 o'clock and on Sunday by 1:30. So every other week. So please do make your try and join us so we can all discuss. Mr. Okpabolo, you have 2 minutes.
Okay, to answer your question, if I did learn anything, yes, only when we know they interject. Because the point, you see, we there here because we have different opinions. If we agree with ourselves, we no go there here. So allow person make it. If you disagree with them, wait for your turn to rebut so that the thing go. But once you put in, you take it on different tone. Yes, there's no opinion that everybody put here that we never hear before. As a student of history, that's normal. Everybody had different opinions, see people different way, right? During the American Revolution, there's few people that carry guns within the colonies. Now, so they regard them as terrorists. At the end of the day, metamorphosed to Ku Klux Klan. They also played their own role in getting their independence too. The Boxer Revolution in China, they were also described as terrorists and all that kind of thing during their 100 years of humiliation. But at the end of the day, they needed by the times to actually get out from that oppression from the West. the French development, the NCNC of South Africa, when they started, they were a terrorist group. So in a normal thing, what is happening now. It's not new. Everybody now is part of human history. so just because one person glorify one other person, consumer, I don't know. And again, this idea, say freedom or whatever, is brought to fruition by one person. No, they happen. Never happened before in history. Doesn't matter the day about Martin Luther King, no. You need those foolish people, those dissidents, those idiots, those rebels, those who get gun, those who get Bible, you need everybody. But at the end of the day, it is the central. It is what joined you guys together. It's when the trends align, you don't need to pay anybody now. So I think that's the central point. That's what is going to metamorphose to at the end of the day. It's a story that is unfolding. It started before many of us were born, and it's not going to end with us. It will continue even after we are gone. So now it's a human development. It's not new. It's just because now, as I said, now the role of today technology is what make us the no. Just because of that. And again, to understand the role of technology, about 60 or 70 years ago, before America go drop bomb for Iran, they would literally need to be on ground. But they just go one evening, fly, come, mosquito come bite you, come on. Nobody knows why. Technology don't advance. So if someone see the control system, don't be surprised. So it's not over here. It doesn't matter how we condemn them. The most important thing for me, looking in from history perspective, the guy has played his role. If we are talking about Biafra today, it doesn't matter if you are going to say it never existed, but we are talking about it. We spend our huge time. History will say how we spend today. We talked about Biafra because of Samuel EKPA. The Bible says many are called, you are choosing. 200 years from now, EKPA will be mentioned because of Biafra. None of us will be mentioned. We'll be gone with history. Expect that. It doesn't matter how you see him. Now, where they see human being be that? For him to throw that part, he knows the end of it. Is either going to be shot and killed one day on the war front, or he's going to be jailed. He knows all this. But he still go. For me, that is the kind of heart I want to have. I go take entire Surok. No say they go kill me. But I still go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much, Ovie. Ovie has a channel. What's the name of your channel again?
On our politics.
On our politics. And so
now let me talk to myself. So
yes, so you all can hook up in On Our Politics and listen to him. I don't know, OT, do you have a channel?
No surprises.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. On this faithful note, I would like to say we will call it a day today. I want to thank Ovie, who has been with me right from the beginning. He was here, and you are a source of. In fact, if you are a good Christian, I will call you Stephen, son of encouragement.
My prime minister is going through the fire, and he will come out shining. So why
yes, no. I believe that. I'm not one of his fans, but I believe that he will get freedom at the end.
But again, this thing also legitimizes his struggle. I mean, if you say not criminal, but it legitimizes that struggle.
No.
International
faulty logic.
Satan has
a name as well. Lucifer, right from the beginning of the world.
Okay. All right, gentlemen. You know, we
has a name as well.
We just have to bring it to a close. We just have to bring it to a close.
If you understand the pain of us all here, you wouldn't be saying this.
All right, we'll have to bring it to a close.
You won't be saying this.
Okay, thank you so much. Sorry, sir, can you call your name exactly for me? Anna Lechukwu.
Anna Lechukwu.
Anna Lechukwu. Oh, very beautiful name, Anna Lechukwu. Thank you so much. I have one. Yes, I have one Mr. Anna Lechukwu as my friend, but he just calls it Anele. He didn't put the other side. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Sophia. We enjoy your contribution, even though we will not accept all that you have said, but I know you have fans there who listen to you, who will agree with you on the panel, and also Mr. Anele Chukwu. There are many people who agree with your views. So please come again. Let's judge your. As long as we are talking, there will be no need for us to war. My friend, Mr. Oti, like I said, I share some part of your history. You were in the seminary. I was, they refused to give me admission. If not, maybe I would have been a priest of the Jesuit kind. Yes,
You guys don't fall in love.
They refused to give me. I couldn't meet the principal. They kept telling me to come back. Whenever I go, he's not around. I said, God, I don't think you want me to follow this line. Anyway, it's good to see you, Oti, and I appreciate your contribution. And of course, your views are well welcomed. We appreciate them. We will always have divergent views in the world. That's why the world will keep going around. If God wanted us to share the same idea, He would have made all of us look the same, and our faces look the same, and our character the same. But He chose to give us diversity, and that's what makes the world go round. The people in the street call it shades of gray. So we always have shades of gray in one way or another in our lives. That's what makes it interesting. So I welcome and I thank you, Ovie, and my other, yes, every one of you have been wonderful. Forefather came in and left. I saw Rudolph at the backstage, Rudolph Okonkwo, but he didn't come in. And every other person who has contributed, my brother Revolution, Mr. James, and Tony, all of you have contributed to this discussion and totally brought very rich part of it out also. And as I round up, I'll also just take you out so I can round up and say goodbye to everyone who has contributed. Thank you so much.
All right, gentlemen.
Thank you. Okay, thank you guys so very much. I want to thank all those who have supported us. Oscar Blackstone, my friend from the other side. Thank you for all your support. I really appreciate it. You are just there, Oscar Blackstone. He supported us so very well today. Bought tea, a cup of tea for me and for Forefather and Rudolph. Thank you. You all did so wonderfully well. Thank you also, my brother. You told us we did a good job discussing today. I thank you because the last time you were here, you didn't agree with my discussion, but today, you approve of what we discussed. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your comment, whether it's in support of what we are doing or not. We appreciate it. Thank you. Also, yes, Chris. Thank you so much. I appreciate your comment. I appreciate also the contribution you made to the platform. Thank you, Kulata. Today we are a bit on the same side, but it doesn't matter whether you're with me or you're on the other end. I appreciate you. I appreciate your comments. Thank you for always finding time to come. Like we say on this channel, we appreciate you not only because you participate, but because you chose to share your time and your treasure. There's nothing more important in a human being's life than time. The time you spent on this channel today can never be recovered. But you have spent it with us to educate, to enlighten, and to let other people know your opinion. Those opinions will continue to remain in this channel, and people will not only watch it in the after now, but they'll continuously to dwell on it. And maybe, who knows, that can help to develop and enrich the polity and the governance in Nigeria. We appreciate all of you. And like I will end up by saying, as for those who think that Simon EKPA is not doing very well, I would like you to stick along this line. In the Igbo land, part of the southeast, or the southeast as the case may be, you hardly have any federal presence. In my community, the water that runs in my community is community built. The road that we drive through is community. The electricity that we have, the transformer that we have, we bought it. The NEPA wires that they run, we bought it. The poles, we bought it. The schools, we built it. You have community schools almost every part of Igbo land. The Igbo land is only... Where is this one coming from? Okay. The main fact that we don't have a seaport, or we have seaport that they refuse for it to function. There's a seaport in Calabar. There's a seaport in Akwa Ibom. There's 2 seaports or more in River State. There's the Oni and there's the other one. You have a seaport in Warri, not functioning. The dredging of the Niger has always collected money since the time of Shagari till today. The Niger has not been dredged, and therefore ships cannot come in. And so everybody has to go to Lagos. Igbo people are business people. So if you want to show us that you still, and the Igbos who are not in support of Simon Ekpa, show us how we can have a seaport that can help develop our places. Show us how the federal government can allow the Nigeria, in the East, to have an airport where you can fly in and don't have to go to Abuja or Lagos before you can, drive down to your location. You ask yourself, why is that there's no railway, no rail line? The standard gauge was, in the money borrowed, was only used. In fact, the railway had even all the way to Maradi outside of Nigeria, but none went to the southeast. Ask yourself these questions. Those who are saying that the Igbos are marginalized, are they on the wrong side? If you can rehabilitate people who have committed serious atrocities by all they're doing in the north, why won't you even have a discussion with those who are agitating for a separatist state? Today, it is Mazi Simon Ekpa. By the way, we know also that certain people who influenced what is going on in Finland, but today it's not for those people. Another day we'll talk about it. We are only trying to draw our attention to this fact that this judgment today, if it stands, wow, I don't know how that keeps coming up. If that is the situation, it then means that both yourself and myself, who are always in these streets of the internet, making one comment or the other, well, we'll have to watch it. Because if a man in Lagos feels that what I'm saying now is not in tandem with what he believes, he can take me to court. And then that will be a case. So let's not celebrate. It's not because it's Simon Ekpa, but it's because the world is evolving, and very soon things may not look as it is today. I thank you all for joining us. Rudolph Okonkwo, we are standing in for him on behalf of the Dr. Damage's show. He will be here on Saturday, where this conversation will be taken to the next level, or as a guest of ours will say, will be alleviated. And until then, we say thank you so much, thank you. And for those who believe in Simon Ekpa, it's not yet over until it's over. We say that because Simon has he can appeal the okay, that is not a normal thing. I don't know whether somebody is trying to hack our system, but it's okay. Look, it's not over until it's over, and I believe that Simon Ekpa is able to defend himself to whatever, and then you see at the end of the day, head or tail, he will still win. Thank you so much, every single one of you. I usually would have ended with my uncle, but today is not the day of bringing my uncle. Today will be a day of singing this very beautiful song from this very beautiful Ife lady.
I am Idu kwasamaka onyoma odika powder. Idu kwasamupu onyoma odika fomu. Idu kwasamishi onyoma odika pilu. Ololololo adurubu ebule wakamwa iwariwo. Ice. Rosa Olerio, Rosanna Olerio, Rosanna Olerio de Kadimba. Adure Oleri, Adure Olerio, Adure, Aturubwe Bule Wakawa, Iurio, Adure, Adure Lele, Adure, Adure Lele, Idu Wasamaka, Onyoma, Dika Powder. Idu kwa samuku onyoma dika fumu. Idu kwa samishi onyoma dika pilu. Ololo lolo, aturubwe mule wakawa.